This is how I have to start out my night. And it should not be just waiting on. Oh, you did say the B. Never mind. Never mind. I was going to correct you. I thought it said AB. It's the B. Right. Thank you. Thank you, Ox. Thanks, everybody, for showing up tonight. And Purple, how are you?
Okay. I'm kind of tired. While I never really sleep, I've got this weird thing that this is the time of night that I always hit the low spot. So it's like I'm kind of fading off here, but in about 2 hours, I'll be wide awake again.
Right. You were telling me you do that. I don't know how you survive. I would just be shit all the time. Like, I have to get at least five hours a night. Well, I don't want to say that. Like, I normally have to get at least 5 or 6 hours, and but I can have nights that I don't sleep for shit as long as it's not more than like 2 nights a week.
Yeah. But like I said, I feel like most of the time I'm just in zombie mode.
Oh, I bet.
I'm shuffling through everything, but I never feel my brain's fully engaged.
Actually, Mathfig, they have shown that yes, 2-hour naps are king. If you want to take a nap, if you want to take a nap, you should never take like a 2 or 3 hour nap. You should take like a 45-minute nap because you'll get more out of it. You'll sleep harder because it's just a nap. But it's so if you're not going to sleep at least 5 hours, it's better to sleep in increments of like 45 minutes or something like that. Or 4, I think it's 4 hours. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, naps don't work well for me because it takes me too long to fall asleep. I lay down for a nap and it'll be at least an hour before I fall asleep. And by that time, I probably have to start thinking about getting up again.
Right. See, but what I do is I don't even think about sleeping. Like when I take a nap, usually I'm just going to lay there and relax and close my eyes and let thoughts go through my head and just kind of enjoy the peace and quiet kind of thing is what I do. And then if I do fall asleep, cool. But I don't pressure myself into it. I just lay down and relax and don't do anything. Maybe pet a cat or something relaxing, and just lay there. And if I fall asleep, I fall asleep.
Yeah, sometimes I do use it for like a meditation time, which helps some.
Yeah.
I don't waste time. That I lie down in bed and go sleep, and 5 seconds, 10 seconds later, 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, I'm asleep.
Yeah. I wish.
Yeah, that'd be great.
There's always a story I tell when we flew to America, and it's something like a 12-hour flight or whatever. And I was like, right, sorting myself before the plane's even taken off. This is going to be a long flight. I've been up all night, deliberately stayed awake all night because it's like 4 a.m. flight or something,
Yeah.
So I've been awake for like fucking. I don't know, close to 20 hours, 22 hours, or whatever. I'm like, right, I'm ready for sleep. Get the legs up, balance them, sort of lean that knee against the seat in front, and
get that
I'm
spot.
Yep.
Yeah, get a spot, and I'm gone.
I've done that before.
Yeah, I went with my friend, and the girlfriend at the time brought her friend, and her friend didn't believe that I was asleep, and she woke me, and I was like, "Are we there yet? Is that us? Fuck, that was quick." And she was like, "No, just proving a point."
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, when I went to Costa Rica, I can't think, how far of a flight is it for you to here?
For me?
Yeah.
I think at the time when we took it, it was something like 12 to 13 hours.
Okay. I can't remember how long Costa Rica was, but I feel like, because we drove
Costa
to
Rica,
Chicago.
Spain?
Huh?
Costa Rica, Spain?
No, like it's south of us, right? Somewhere.
South of you?
South America.
South.
Yeah,
Right.
South.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we flew down there, but we drove to Chicago, almost died on the way. Because it was really icy roads. It was jet black out when we left for the airport. We were getting on like a red eye almost.
For anyone not familiar with the expressways around there, almost died on the way is automatically part of the name of Chicago.
Oh, no. We were still in Michigan. We were coming from Grand Haven, Michigan, down and around to Chicago. And we were coming down the highway, and it was really dark out, and it was snowing, and the roads were shit. and we're cruising, not going too fast, but my buddy was starting to go a little fast. I was like, Dean, you gotta be careful. He's like, no, I'm a good driver, very quick reactions. And I was like, dude, just be careful, just slow it down a little bit. So he slowed down like 5 miles an hour, and he was like, that's it, we have to go this fast, or we're never gonna get to the airport in time. And I was like, okay, fine.
Again?
Huh?
What's his name?
Dean.
Right, I like Dean. Go on ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he was trying to fly, and it was nasty weather. But anyway, so we come around this long bend to the right, and there's a overpass right there. We didn't see it yet. We could just barely, where you could just barely see the posts. And so we're like, okay, we're going along, and all of a sudden we realize there's a jet black car sitting sideways in the middle of the fucking highway.
Is it wrong that the only thing I want to ask you right now is what car were you driving?
We were in a... Hold on. I got to think about it. I want to say it was an older Jeep Cherokee. Probably one of the things that saved us.
4-wheel drive, yeah.
Or it had all-wheel drive, whatever it was. It was some kind of SUV.
All-wheel,
yeah. Same diff, right? So anyway, we're going and we're all talking, and we get the radio on, and we're like, man, we can't wait to get there. It's so cold here, and we're going to Costa Rica, and we can wear nothing. It's gonna be great, And we're just bullshitting, and then Dean just goes, and I saw it right when he did, and Dean was just like, and just missed the guy. It was fucking amazing. And I looked at him, and I was in the back seat, and I leaned forward and I said, I will never doubt your driving skills again, sir. Well, I mean, there was the car had lights off and everything. Like you couldn't see lights or anything.
That happened something similar on the way home from picking, at the time, the child's mother hadn't got her license. So we were coming home, and the time you get up there after work at 6 and get dinner and stuff, we're driving home, it's dark, and, long straight road, middle of nowhere. I'm taking back roads because they're quicker, direct route. There's no real main motorway. You can go on the motorway, and then you have to go off it, and then you have to go onto another motorway. And then, so it's this wee spit of the back road. And there's a drunken guy in the middle of the road, jumped out in front of the car, me doing about 50 or 60. The child's mother in the front seat, the child in the back seat. She wouldn't have been a year and a half, and it was the same thing. Thump, thump, and just round him. And then I hit the fucking brakes, and I pulled the car over, checked if everybody was okay, and then got out of the fucking car and chased that motherfucker. I don't know, what the fuck are you doing walking out? He hid in the ditch. Right? He hid in the fucking ditch, and then I swung the car around.
Good man.
And I drove back up the road, and she was like, Robbie, just go home, just go home. I was no, this fucking dick jumping out. I didn't know he was drunk at this stage, and he literally just jumped out in the middle of the road,
Wow.
I was pissed, So I drove back up again with full beam on the car. We had half beam and full beam, full beam on, and
high beam in the US,
high beam or whatever it is. Yeah. Eventually find this fucker maybe about half a mile walking back up the road. It's clearly him. There's nobody else in this middle of the fucking nowhere walking. And, wasn't me. Didn't do it. Ended up I threw him through the gate that held in some like a farm gate. And then I got very angry, and then I really did want.
You got very angry.
Oh,
I threw him through the gate, and then I got very angry.
Oh no! Then I got very angry because then he did admit to what he was doing. So I was definitely sure that I was with the right guy, and I dragged him over to the back seat. I dragged him over to the back door of the car.
So the point when you threw him through the farm gate, you still had a doubt whether or not you were beating up the right person.
I'm making sure, all right? I'm making sure. All right?
There's nothing wrong with a little affirmation in your life.
It was the purple. This is the middle of fucking nowhere. There's nobody walking these. There's not even a pavement.
Oh, yeah. No, I know what you mean. That's, the country roads up by where my mom lives.
Yeah. And, and you're finding this guy within 2 minutes, half a mile up the road. He's out of breath. Why are you out of breath? I wasn't running away from anybody. I'm fine, Yeah. And I didn't know that the gate was unlocked. I threw him up against the gate, and the gate was unlocked. So it swung open and he fell down. And then when he hit the ground, I grabbed him by the scruff of the back of the neck and I dragged him over to the back seat of the car. And I opened the back seat of the car and I showed him my daughter. And I was like, do you see this fucking child in the back seat of the car? Do you see what could have fucking happened with this child in the back? And, The child's mother then opened the passenger front door and was like, Robbie, would you smack him in the face and we can go the fuck home? And I was, no,
Get it over with.
no. I got, in all honesty, I have a bad temper, and I felt that if I hit him, yeah, sure the fuck. If I hit him, I may not stop hitting him. So I actually dragged him around to the other side of the car, and I threw him in the back seat, and we drove back to the local police station, back the way we fucking came for about 3 miles.
Dropped him his ass off.
I fucked him at the front of the police station. Now, whether the police come out or anything after that, I don't know. I didn't fucking hang around, but I fucked him at the front of the police station. And the next, well, be going back about 5 or 6 miles. Oh, I was livid. I was fucking livid.
I don't blame you. So I have a story similar to that. So I had when I was a truck driver, I drove for this one company out of up in Pennsylvania, in York. And so my friend's not friend, co-worker, who also was a driver for the same company. She's driving down through York, and the way York is designed is the highway goes down like this for a while and then goes back up, and there's solid concrete walls, and so you're not going anywhere, is my point. And there's a big wall down the middle, so you have 2 lanes. That's it, and like this much room on either side. That's it. So this woman is driving down through there underneath the overpasses, and someone jumped out and committed suicide and hit the front of her truck, and her body hit the flat part of the front, and her head went over onto the top curve of the hood and just popped her skull. That woman has not driven since. She refuses to drive anything, even a car. She's done. She's got PTSD. Like, she watched this woman's head pop in front of her.
I would also ask,
and it was enough of a, you know how I kind of like when you think about it, it's like in slow motion kind of thing.
Yeah.
In your head, she can see that woman's face.
I would also ask your friend Dean. Now, he's probably obviously not been through something as traumatic as that, but I guarantee you that Dean can say to you that he's such a good driver because he's crashed about 4 cars.
He has crashed some vehicles.
See,
and he actually. He said he's driving down the road at night and it's snowy and shit. And he said something ran out in front of me and I went to go around it and I couldn't get back up on the pavement. Yep. And my wheel got caught in the dirt and all of the snow. And I slowly went down in this ditch. He said, I said, what ran out in front of you? He said, a woodland creature. Cause he wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah,
some animal.
I've had a corner.
So he slowly, hold on. So he slowly goes down in the ditch like this. And then it just lays there. And he's like sitting in his seat, seatbelt, like, okay, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
So he calls the company, the wreckers come out, they put the big orange balloon looking things, hook them up, pulled up the rest of the way with a tow truck, with the winch, and pulled up the rest of the way. And the only reason he couldn't drive it was because the right front fender was crunched too much. There was nothing wrong with the rest of the trailer, just scrapes on the truck and the trailer. Just that front fender was ripped. He got really fucking lucky, man.
I got a car before I got a license because it was decent money, and it was a one. I know your engine sizes are different over here, but for someone who's learning to drive, what they usually throw at you now over here is a 0.99 cc to keep the insurance down and stuff like that.
Okay.
Right, like fuck all. We petrol.
So that's like a 3-cylinder.
Oh, piece of piss.
Right?
Thinking 40, 50 brake horsepower. Gets you from A to B with a roof over your fucking head.
No, I'm saying, is it a three valve?
Oh, no, I'm just saying this is, I couldn't tell you. Some of them are 3, some of them are 4. That's usually what a first-time driver over here would get,
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's our, like, small, except for, like, the smart cars. That's, like, our smallest economy car motor size is a 3-cylinder. And
diesels are very torquey, right?
Well,
Right, they don't top out that much, but they're very torquey. And I have access for £350, which is a fucking bargain at the time because it was only second owner. My dad actually bought a new car and sold it to me, and he bought this one for like $9,000 with his redundancy money from his last job. It was very low miles on it. It was, think a smart car with a 1.9 diesel engine in it. This thing moved like stink, all right? It was
Well,
very
I'm
big.
taking that to be an engine smaller than some of the riding lawnmowers.
I don't think it's that small.
A 1.9 diesel. It doesn't matter about the. It's very torquey. It's very quick, and it's front driver's wheel powering it. It's not rear wheel drive or anything. It's your steering wheel and your power wheel. They're both the fucking same.
Well, I think over here, those small vehicles I was just talking about, I think they're the same size. You said 1.3 liter?
1.9.
1.9. Okay, yeah, they're around there somewhere. Yes, they're below 2, a little bit below 2, but I can't remember exactly what most of them are right now, but I used to know. But yeah, they're under
It's a
2.
shitty wee small car, but this thing moved
Yeah.
like step. I had to replace 2 back axles and teaching boys how to do handbrake turns around corners and stuff and shit like that. It was a great wee car for fucking.
Yeah,
fun.
those little cars, they will yeah, man. They will
Went to a rally course, had more fun in a micro than I did in a Mark II Escort. But anyway, that aside, right? Hit this corner coming out of Scarborough, me no fucking license, about 10 miles from home, and went left far too quick. I was thinking this wee thing would hold the corner, did not hold the corner. She rolled about 5-6 times. Ended up landing on a wall. The passenger door was level with the road. The driver's door, the reason the wall was there is because there's a river about of a 4-foot drop. So I opened the door of the driver's side after rolling 6 times and step out thinking to hit tarmac because my mate just did in the passenger side, and I fall about 4 foot into a fucking river. So I'm now in the river with the car above me, right? With like this sort of stance, ripping the license plate off the fucking car because I don't want to get caught, right? Because I've no license or nothing, right? So I'm ripping the license plate off the car. I get up underneath the fucking dash to the point where I pop my nice new radio and all out of the fucking dash. I pop the fucking partial shelf. You know a partial shelf? If you pop the partial shelf off, you could climb into the boot, from the car. It's that like.
Oh yeah. Okay, okay. I got you.
Yeah, I've cut holes in it and got 2 nice new 6x9 speakers and all in it. Right? So I'm walking up the road with my partial shelf underneath. No, the whole partial shelf. It was easier to move the partial shelf. Right? The partial
Yeah,
shelf.
because who's got time to use a screwdriver? I mean, you go find one.
No, rip the wires out. Walk up the road with the partial shelf under one arm. I've got my radio under the other arm. Oh, swear to fuck. Long story short, barred from driving before I got my license. Barred for a year before I got my license, and my insurance was fucking near $3,000
Yeah.
for the first year. I had points on my license before I got my license. But this is what the point I'm making with Dean. These are practices,
Right.
These are fun things that you just go, oh, the car did that. That's grand. I know what to do now.
Right. No, I remember playing around with smaller cars. I had I didn't have a vehicle and I was a truck driver, and I kind of I had nothing left, and I just took what I had and bags of clothes, duffel bags of clothes and shit, and I just got in a truck and went off, and so I had to rebuild everything my whole entire life.
License? Yeah.
Huh?
You have a HGV license?
Yeah.
They are literally 100,000 drivers, HGV drivers, short in England right now. They are crying out.
Shut the fuck up, man.
I'm not joking.
Tell me that shit.
100,000.
You're talking about a commercial driver's license, right? To drive big trucks.
Long distance lorry drivers in particular, they are 100,000 short. They are screaming out and paying big money. There's 30,000 minimum that couldn't get through their test because of last year with the COVID and stuff. So now there's a backlog of up to 2 years. So even the people who are waiting are going to be 2 years before they come through. They are 100,000 HGV drivers short in England right now. Screaming out.
Anyways, we're not going to talk about how much I need money right now. Okay, so anyways, what was I going to say? See, you fucked me all up with that.
No,
what was I saying?
We were talking about crashing cars and Dean being a good driver because he probably crashed as many as me.
We were way past that. More recent.
I got banned from driving before.
The small vehicle thing. That's what it was. Thank you. So, I was trying to rebuild everything, and I met this lady, and whenever I was home, because I was out for 28 days and home for 7 at the time, she rented out a room to me, and I paid her I don't know, it was $200 a month or something like that, or $150 a month for everything, So I was staying with her, and she was like, "Hey, next time you're home, you wanna get a free vehicle?" And I was like, "What?" And she goes, fly out. She said, I'll pay for the flight, fly out to San Diego, pick up my car from my stepson, and he'll give you the keys and everything. And I'll give you cash for gas and just drive it back. And it was a Subaru WRX with the turbo, blah, 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 blah. Really fucking I had fun driving that bitch back. I'm just going to say it was really hard not to speed.
Was it blue with gold wheels?
No. It was jet black.
Oh,
and it had the spoiler on the back.
Oh, yeah.
It black and red racing seats on the inside. It was a really nice fucking. It was
over here. The blue with gold wheels is massively popular, but I know the exact car you're talking.
Okay, so you know the one I'm talking about, yeah. And so this one, the guy that owned it which was her husband, the kid's father, the stepson's father. He died of cancer, and before he died, though, he played with that car and he put new turbo in it, new blah 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 in it. So that little fucker went. And it had everything except for fucking nitrous in it, literally.
Did it have the dump valve when you change gear? It went boo.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I fucking hate that shit. But go on ahead.
But it wasn't loud. It wasn't loud.
No,
I mean, it wasn't bothersome. I had the radio up. I was cruising down the fucking highway with my foot out the door like this.
We're talking the slight bubble version. The boot's sort of rounded at the edges and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, not a lot.
Yeah.
These were made in. Hold on, they were 2004-ish, 2005-ish.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. But anyway, so it was right after Subaru came out with that really nice WRX look. And it was the second year they made him or something like that when he bought him. I want to say 2005. But anyway, so I drove that all the way back, and she gave me a Suzuki Sidekick. And I was like, all right, I'll take that fucking thing. Free car. Yep. Worth at least $1,500 to $1,800, and she just gave it to me. So I drove that thing around, and it was a stick shift, and it was really short. It was weird because, man, you could literally turn on a fucking dime in those things.
That thing.
Yes, but jet black. Yes. Yeah. There you go.
Look how much blue there is because I'm in an IP address that's in the UK. See what I mean? Blue with gold.
Yeah. You wouldn't see that here. You just see black and red here.
They fucking love the blue with gold wheels. I think they look awful. In saying that, right, when these come out, and then there's another version that was a competitor to it.
Right.
This was I totally can't spell it. Yeah. This thing was a beast. Now that came out at the same time. In around 2005, 2006 or so, I got there. 2000 even. This one was out before it. That's the Tommy Mackin one. That's a rally driver one that they made a limited edition, something like 500 of them. And an Axe what do you call them when they work on the roads over here? An Axe traffic branch. This guy would if there's a car chase, this is the policeman that you ring to, get the guy down out of the car chase. And he bought this guy.
Come here.
Yeah, no, he owned one of these, and he took me out for a spin on the back roads in around Banbridge that are literally we went around a corner at about 60 miles an hour, a blank 90-degree corner that there could have been fucking cows behind. I have never been more afraid, and only ever afraid of this and another car in my life, and I like speed.
Yeah.
I swear to fuck this guy.
I do too. I'm going to tell you, I've had my moments. Going down a highway outside of, south of Scranton, Pennsylvania, where, is it 81? No, hold on. Is it 81 and 80? Yeah, 81 comes down and goes across I-80. And so I was going right past there, and it's up to 3 lanes at that point. And there was just trucks coming in everywhere and shit. And I literally just punched it on my motorcycle. It steered the whole way through it with my ass. I never used my shoulders at all. I just wiggled my ass and went around all the trucks. And it was like a 65 zone, and I don't even know. I was going close to 90. It was kind of crazy, actually, but it was fucking fun. And then when I got done, I was like, damn, I could have died. I'm not going to do that again.
Before Peugeot got shit.
I didn't even have a helmet on, dude. I had a fucking t-shirt and a hat on backwards.
Peugeot before Peugeot got shit used to make decent cars, right? And they This one is a 1.9 Peugeot 205 GTI, right?
What year is that?
Oh, this is 80s.
Because there's a guy where I used to work at that apartment complex. He had a Peugeot shipped over because he lived overseas for years, and his is a goldish, tannish colored one.
84 to 94, 86 to 93. Right?
Okay,
So you're talking late 80s, early 90s, right?
Yeah, it's considered antique now.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And
But
somebody
his is the tan colored one, but it looks almost exactly like that.
Yeah, the black and red was the big one over here, right? And somebody took this wee thing here with a tiny wee fucking see. There's right, the badge. See where it says 1.9.
Yeah,
right. Nice wee. This one's really well looked at. Oh, that's fucking
yeah, it's like,
immaculate. That
that's
fucking
cherry,
thing.
man.
Yeah.
That had to have been redone. That's too
Right, and
pretty.
somebody did, if I can remember, it's a 405.
Well, what you got
Wait.
there is about the size of the Ford Focus I'm driving now.
Wait a minute. Peugeot is owned by Ferrari? Is that correct?
I don't know.
Because that was a Ferrari symbol on that
Right.
fucking dashboard.
Oh no, it wouldn't have been.
Isn't that right there? Go back.
No, that's the Peugeot symbol.
The lion?
The Lion.
Yeah, the Ferrari one's
Oh,
different,
I thought
right?
I thought Ferrari had that or
You
something.
see the size of this car, okay?
Yeah.
See the difference in size? This
Yeah.
one came out with a very sporty model and a shitty body, right? And they came out with just sticking a big, massive 2 liter, for over here, 2 liter at the time, especially in the 80s.
What
A
is
2 liter
that?
petrol engine was fucking huge, right? And they put it in a car this size. And what someone did is they took it and then they put it in this. And I mean, they squeezed it in. You could not. Look at-
Jesus.
There's no room left.
What kind of car is
whatsoever.
that?
This is a 1.9 Peugeot 205 GTI, right? You have
Oh,
to
GTI,
remove
okay.
everything, right? This thing is about, oh my God, maybe 200 brake, 210 brake in a car no longer than 8 foot. It scared the
Yeah.
fuck out of me. This thing near like went up in 2 wheels and all, like when we were going around corners.
That's how it felt in that little fucking Suzuki Sidekick, man. I used to crank in that thing, and
Look
I
at
go
it,
around,
Rita, look.
and those are kind of top heavy, which is one of the reasons they quit making them because they're too top heavy. People were trying to treat them like Jeeps, and they're not that wide of a wheelbase. And I was going around corners, and I felt my wheels starting to lift up, and I was like, "Oh, I better fucking slow down, dude. I'm gonna throw this bitch."
Yeah. They used to, rally them and stuff and all as well.
Huh?
That's the full rally version. Look at that fucking thing.
Right?
And somebody has put a wide body on that one. But yeah, and this one that I was in was a sleeper. Was all up as a 1.9, a 1.9, a 1.9, and all. No, there's a fucking 2 liter engine in this thing. You will need a nappy.
Right?
I don't even think that picture I was showing you was the MI16. Peugeot 205 MI16 engine. And you will
I like
see
to say
the-
my Ford Focus is about that size. It's got a 2 liter engine though.
Does it?
But that's America. Usually 2
Yeah.
liters are fucking standard over here.
We 2 liters, like, yeah, it's pretty common here.
My Mondeo that will be back on the road has to be by fucking law, or I don't get to keep the motherfucking thing. Is 2 months will be back on the road, and it's a 2.2 diesel.
Ah,
Now
Nice.
I did get it remapped, so it's sitting in and around about maybe 205, 210 brake in total. But like the torque out of that thing is great. You can be in 6th gear and go from 60 to 90 in about 2 or 3 seconds and overtake it. It's
Damn, dude.
and it's black and 666. And the new car I'm driving is black and 999. It's one of the reasons why I bought it.
Maybe it was a Samurai. Now I'm having trouble remember which one it is.
so if it's 999, it's not going to be evil till you roll it
Might
over.
No, it was a Suzuki.
Apparently.
What the fuck was that called?
Suzuki Swift, Suzuki.
No, it was one of those little. I don't know. I swear it was a Sidekick.
This
The
is-
runabout
Yeah.
or the Samurai.
Yeah, it
Right.
was a. Yeah, it was a. I think it was a Suzuki Sidekick. If I'm trying to figure out which one what it was.
Do you remember the first car I said that I got off my dad? Do you know how the police ended up finding me after I ripped all the bits and bobs off it?
This is almost exactly what it looked like.
Oh, that's a Suzuki Vitara.
Is it a Vitara?
It's a Suzuki Vitara.
Okay,
or
that's
what
what I was
Suzuki
thinking.
Vitara, or
that.
depending on the model and the country, it used to be called a Suzuki Rhino.
Okay, we call them here Suzuki Sidekick Vitara. The Vitara is like a special make of the Sidekick.
No, yeah, it's Suzuki.
That's what
Rhino
it says.
Vitara. Yeah, just different countries.
Yeah, that's what I had. That little fucker, man, it wasn't.
They were a decent wee car.
Close the doors and they had that kind of tinny sound, you know? It wasn't like a big beefy, but the little fucker was fun, man. It was fun.
You've heard of Top Gear?
Huh?
You've heard of Top Gear?
Yeah.
I've seen the show.
Yeah, with Jeremy Clarkson and all before it got taken over by Joey from Friends and stuff back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond. Is it Richard Hammond? Richard, whatever it was. They were given a certain amount of money, and they were literally told, buy a 4-wheel drive vehicle. We're going to dump you in the fucking jungle in the middle of the Amazon. You have to find your way out. And James May bought one of them and drove the whole way out of the Amazon right across. And the other boys were buying proper Jeeps, but they're a decent wee fucking Jeep.
You know why they're so good to have in that situation? I guarantee you this is why you picked it. Are you ready? They're shorter and they're skinnier than Jeeps, and you can get in more places with them. That's why. And mine had that same 4-wheel drive shit on it. Like that was a good little fucking, I mean, like I said, I didn't keep it forever. I ended up actually selling it. My sister died and my nephews didn't want to take over the loan on her car. So I gave them the Suzuki Vitara and gave them another like $500 or something like that on top of it so they could sell it and get their own little, vehicles for themselves. And I took over her truck or car payment, but that's the only reason I got rid of it.
That's the one that I rolled that had a wee 1.9 engine in it. In red.
Wow.
More
that
so
looks kind of like a Volkswagen Golf.
Oh, goodness, no. Oh, goodness.
Except Volkswagen Golfs are probably built way more sturdy with bigger motors than that one.
This was the new model, right? After I fucking got my license. But they brought one of these out in like a 0.9 engine and like a wee one. I bought the 1.2 16 valve version because it was a wee bit sporty. And for a 1.2 engine, it was $3,000 in insurance. One of these. I took that badge off, took all the badges off, got rid of the door handle, slammed the thing to the ground, put a set of wheels on it. Looked fucking class. It was the best looking Clio for at least 3 counties. And then I ran that fucker into the back of a bus.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, ruined that one too.
Fun.
Yeah. Crow fucking.
Just
I swear to fuck, I blame the bus. He did not indicate to pick up that person.
It happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
People just run in the back of buses. It's life, man. It's all good.
Go fuck yourself, all right? Go fuck yourself. This is a big long ass bus, and he tried to do me for whiplash and everything. And it's like, man, you were stopped when I hit the bus. I broke a tail light, and the entire front of my car was crushed, and the battery caught fire. And you're trying to do me. And the funny thing about it was, he got out of the car, and he was like, when the insurance company asks, tell them it's a frosty morning. And I was not that frosty, like, And then he slid 5 foot along the side of my car, and then about a month later, I got a claim from him saying he'd whiplash. I was like, you motherfucker.
Oh my god. No, I'm gonna tell you, although honestly, I was when I was 10 years old, we were in the school bus had picked us up, we were heading to school, and we actually had to drive up a US state or US route. It was US 50, and it's a divided 2-lane in either direction highway. And it's generally 55 to 60 miles an hour, usually 55. So we had to go up the road, pick up this kid, go up the highway further, and make a U-turn on US 50. That was the bus route. Like, you want to talk about stupid, right? So we go up this hill, and where he had to make the turn and go make a U-turn, we were up on top of like a pretty high hill. And, she. And this Jeep Cherokee, one of the big old 70s Jeep Cherokees, right, comes up behind us, hits us in the back end because he was going too fast and he slid on the ice. We're holding perfectly still. There was 7 or 8 people in there that got whiplash, and the bus driver got knocked in the head and got knocked out. And she took her foot off the clutch of the bus when she got knocked out. And the girl in the front seat, because back then when we drove buses, I don't know if they do this now, but they have 2 people that ride the bus. The bus driver picks 2 people, and their job is if something happens to the driver, you pull that fucking emergency brake. And this one girl, she was a fucking little brunette shit bitch, snobby ass, but she saved our fucking lives that day because we were going right across there and there was traffic coming and we were heading right for a fucking guardrail. If we would have hit that guardrail, we would have went down like 250 feet or something like that. And so, because I was in West Virginia at the time. So she pulled that fucking thing and we stopped like in one lane. The traffic could get around us. Nobody else got hurt. The guy, when he hit us, when he realized he couldn't stop, he did this. And when he got out of us, because I was towards the back and I got the shit knocked out of me. So I walked back there and looked to see what happened, once the bus stopped. And he's standing there, he's sitting there like this in his Jeep, and he's got big shards, because this is before they made the shatterproof glass. He had big shards of glass from the windshield sticking out of his arm like this long, all over his arms. And like there was a piece in his head up here, stuck, a little piece. And there was some like on his chest. And he was just sitting there like, I don't know what to do right now. Like he couldn't move. So he just sat there like that because you can't reach down and open the door. You got shards of glass sticking out of your arm. So he just sat there like this. And I just sat there and like stared at him like, holy shit. And that was the first crazy fucking thing I saw when I was a kid. That was like mind blowing.
I had a car at 14 that we bought between 4 of us for £15. We rallied around the fields. I loved cars. Always did like fucking about in them. Like
I want to get.
This is a representation of mine, although my license plate does say my initials followed by 666. But this is, except mine right now has a busted headlight here and a busted bumper and a busted bonnet and a busted grill. Fucking stupid motherfucker stopping in the middle of the fucking road. But oh no, it worked out well. They offered me £2,000 for the car, and I says if I want to keep the car, well, that was £1,800 they offered me. Then because I have a £200 access, it dropped to £1,600, and that was for them to take the car away and give me money. No, the insurance company with the accident. And I was like, look, I want to keep the car, so they added £600 or minus £600 for it. So I've got to keep the car and £1,000. And it should take about £300 or £400 to fix the car. And then £500 I'll pay the access and the insurance because it's now, not a perfect fucking car. I have to get an engineer's report.
Oh, didn't mean to do that.
No, you're grand.
That was actually an accident.
No, you're grand. But
well, Purple went to share something, I think, and I went to click on it, and you ended up there instead.
What I'm driving now is fucking awful looking. Like, where do you see that? What I'm driving now is this.
I was trying to, but it was the wrong tab that came up.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you were trying to share. Because I went to click on it to add it to the stream, and he was there, and I kicked him out. Because you popped it out so quick.
This is what I'm driving now. One of these.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's not the coolest car in the world, but those are pretty badass.
Well, I'm looking at it. That cunt's looking $4,000, so I don't know how old this ad is, but I only paid £600, so I don't know. It says 2006. It is 2006, yeah.
Yeah, I had one of these 92 Geo Metro that I wound up. I killed it on the drive from Minnesota to New York when I moved there. Because it only.
I remember those.
Yep, it only had the 3-cylinder 1-liter engine. The tag in the door said that its maximum capacity was 660 pounds.
I didn't remember. I didn't know they had that. I dated a chick that had one of those, but it was a little newer. But by
and I had
6 years.
I had the whole back end of the thing loaded up with my tools because I needed to be able to get some work when I got there. So I must have had like a ton and a half of stuff in this thing. So it really couldn't maintain the speed going up the hills in Ohio.
It happens.
But that
is so similar to this, man. Look, right? That is so similar to this. That's a Citroen ZX.
Yep.
Hold on. Let me look at it. Yeah, it's pretty similar. I mean, it doesn't have the extra piece on the ass end. That's actually longer than a Geo Metro. The
But
hood's
it's-
longer too. The hood is more.
It might be a bad
it
angle.
scoops down at an angle more, like this.
The
Well,
back
the
end.
Metro was
See?
only a 2-door instead of a 4-door.
Kind of. Yeah, kind of.
There's a guy in that color I know that.
That
his-
still reminds me of a Volkswagen, man.
a Volkswagen Golf is completely more square and more box-like.
I mean, well, it depends on what year you're talking about,
I
but
know a guy that owns
that's
one of
closer
these,
to a Golf than a Geo Metro. Is what I'm saying.
one of these cars in this particular green that I think his grandma gave him or his mum had laying around or whatever, and he bought a Citroen 106 ZXR engine, which is like a 1.6, really sporty, got a big turbo on it, sort of
Hi,
engine.
brother. I'm just gonna say hi because he'll just keep going on because
I
he's
will
got lots
keep
to say.
going, I will
He
keep
loves cars. He
But
really
he-
loves cars.
Oh no, there's a funny story behind this, right? This guy took this car that would look like an old granny car, completely rusted. Got very lucky to buy this very sporty engine and put it in. Did not declare it, right? So on the books and insured it's a 1.9, or sorry, a 0.9 engine petrol with like 50 brake, and secretly it's got 180 with a big size turbo in it and outrace anyone. Yeah, he got in with the wrong crowd and they stole a digger and tried to rob a hole in the wall machine. No, like an ATM.
An ATM.
They ripped an ATM out of the wall with a stolen digger and they tried to escape. They eventually did get caught. He had to do like 4 years, but yeah.
Love
it
you,
was
Math
quick,
Pig.
but
What's
it
a
wasn't
digger?
that quick. Pardon?
Love you, Math Pig. What's a digger?
A
An
digger,
excavator.
JCB.
Yeah, like a miniature steam shovel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, group of like 4 20-year-old guys breaking into a building site that's like a half mile up the road from a petrol station, drive the 4 mile up the road with the fucking digger, and then rob it from the fucking, oh yes, what the fuck, and then dig the shit out of the, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a popular thing over here for like a year. Once one guy did it, everybody was like, that's a fucking great idea.
I have seen dozens of
One place in Canada
videos
hit
of people
3 times.
trying to steal ATMs, and there was only one instance I've ever heard of where it went well.
Oh, it's gone well. I've never heard of that one before.
There was one instance that one of the ATM machines disappeared, and they found the machine in a garage in Minneapolis a few weeks later.
There you go,
So
everybody.
somebody
That's-
managed to get it away and get it into a garage so that could break it open at their leisure with a welding torch.
I'm guessing they didn't use that as a getaway vehicle
No,
because
that's-
those go like 5 miles an hour max.
Nobody notices at 4 a.m. a digger driving up the road because they're all asleep. They only notice it whenever you start racking the petrol station. So it's not a getaway vehicle. It's as I swear to fuck. It got there's another one. There's another one. It got really popular over here. Once one guy did it, everybody was like, all you have to do is steal a digger and drive it to the local petrol station and you get like 10 grand. I'm on this shit.
Somehow I do not doubt that would be a thing. I mean, I can't believe that hasn't happened here yet. Because
Funny
you
enough,
guys
I'm
did
looking
it.
at all these
Maybe it's
places
because you
and they're
guys
all-
did it first and the Americans are like, no, I'm going to find a different way.
Well, I'm sort of looking
I
and
don't
they're all South Armagh direction. I don't know if that's a thing about South Armagh, but don't look up South Armagh, Northern Ireland troubles. But yeah, it might just be a South Armagh thing. They're all in and around the South Armagh direction. It's a local thing. Hi,
Heard.
Richard.
How's it going, bro?
Twice in a week, Richard. We don't
Yeah.
talk for months
Peace and
and then
respect,
twice
purple.
in 1 week.
You blinked a
And
little bit
also
there, but
peace and-
he did say hi to you.
also peace and respect to purple. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
So what's the topic tonight aside from souping up engines and not reporting it and stealing ATMs with
Let's-
track excavators?
let's not go back to there. Let's move on from the vehicles. No, we weren't really talking about anything. We started out talking about flying, and I don't know
Yeah,
how that
mostly
even.
we just
Even
talked
Stevens
about
earlier,
cars.
We were talking trans
Mostly
rights,
cars.
Ben Shapiro. There was a bit of Jimmy Dore in there.
Yep.
Ben Shapiro.
Oh yeah, we
I
put
know
him
who
up
that
to
is.
1 point. Have you ever put Ben Shapiro to 1.75 speed? That he's a chipmunk.
Oh, I'll bet he is. He's a little guy anyway.
His eyebrows, his face, his nose. It looks like he was made by the same. Is it Mattel? They made the Ken doll, and now they're trying out AI.
Like one of the Muppets puppets.
Dave made a joke about how he thinks he's gay, and then I couldn't stop focusing on the fact that he kept stroking his pen as he was talking. It was really weird.
The side
And I-
chat's always a little behind, but Nerdy was saying they're all within 20 miles of Math Pig. Coincidence?
I think not.
I haven't got caught yet. Here, if I had robbed 10 grand, I wouldn't be fucking broke.
Look, here's the difference of how, like we were talking about before, well, obviously I was interviewing my brother. We were talking about how we grew up. And my mom was like, be good to everybody, don't do anything wrong, and then the boys were most of them were like, well, you can do a little bit wrong, but don't go too far. There's a line, and then you had Keel, and he said, it's not illegal to get caught. Don't get caught. And I'm like, this is a life lesson here. Thanks, brother. Thanks and you're a good influence on me. That's what he told me.
That's really weird.
was like
Isn't
12
Khalil Allah? Is this
or
Khalil Allah
11.
from the Khalil
I was
Allah?
like,
Hey, it's
Is it-
still better than I did growing up.
Is that Khalil Allah from the last stream we were on? Is that who you're talking about?
no, Keel.
No, not
That's
Keel.
our brother. That's our brother.
Oh, your brother. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, Mom decided to take two dead uncles' names and mix them together.
They weren't
And-
uncles.
What were they?
One was an uncle. The other one was like mom's high school sweetheart.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Where
Anyway,
did your name come from, Richard? Do you know?
yeah.
Also, what does your name mean, Richard?
What Richard means?
In the English language, going back the way it is and all the rest of it, let's not do the Hebrew, but what is the general acceptance?
There's no
for
Hebrew
Richard?
Richard, but
I'm only playing fun. I'm only.
I don't know. I never looked up the etymology of the name Richard. I mean, it traces back to some kind of like English famous person, but that's all I know.
Richard originates via Old French from Old Frankish, and is a compound of the words descending from Proto-Germanic,
What does it
leader,
mean?
king, strong, brave, hardy, and it
Ooh.
therefore means strong in rule.
You're a leader, Richard. You just didn't know it yet.
Okay, but the classic question of
Sounds
how
like
is
a cult.
Dick
Sounds
short
like a
for
cult
Richard?
leader's name.
You want to look up mine? Right. Type in Robert. Type
course
in
you pick-
Robert.
You'd pick a better basis for your call, right? Where people would follow you.
Yeah, but
That'd be a good
how
idea.
is Dick short for Richard?
Because
He
You know,
he
I
doesn't say it's short for Richard.
Yeah, but I don't get where that ever came from. I mean, if you want short for Richard, shouldn't it just be Rich?
Or Rick.
or
I
Richie.
think it was Richard. I think it was Richard, Rick, Rich, Dick, or something in that order, or something like because it just people being lazy. I think.
I will say that when we were growing up, people started calling him like Rich or Rick, and he'd go, no, it's Rich because there's no K in my name.
Yeah.
So it was always
Yeah.
Rich for him. So yeah.
So mine is meaning of bright fame.
Bright fame.
The one that I had in a cup when I was a kid said famous, or which is, I don't know. Let me see. Let me go back another one. Let's see.
Ancient German origins and is a very common English name. Is Grammarly.
Fame. There you are. Fame and Bret Hart, which means bright. The name was introduced to the people. Something similar to what I've read before.
Interesting.
I thought, wait a minute, doesn't that say could be an asshole? No, I'm kidding.
No. It says definitely. You read it wrong. Definitely an asshole.
Bam.
Sounds like one anyway. Not necessarily true, but generally sounds like one.
Yeah, I'm still trying to pick a new name. And I don't know.
Randy said, mine is Germanic and means wolf warrior. What the fuck does that mean?
Means you're a really angry sheep. Like a fucking pissed off
With a sword.
nunchucks. I was picturing nunchucks.
Well, if you say anything in German, you sound pissed off. German is the only language where I love you sounds like a threat.
Say it.
Oh, I can't pronounce it properly.
Oh, okay. Say that, Math Big. Come on. You're handy.
You want me
Ooh,
to-
I like that new graphic.
Oh, that's
Who did-
just one
Who
of
did
my.
that?
I did that. Well, no, Geo did the graphic. He tweaked it.
Oh.
He tweaked that, and then I got a PNG of it, and I added it to the background, and then that's an actual picture of the moon from like 3 or 4 months ago.
Nice.
And then I have.
But that can't be because the Earth is flat.
And then I have also, where's my camera? Then there's I have loads of stuff. Let's even not start that. Yeah, lots of screens. One of them's got a picture of the Earth. The other one's got a picture of Sub-Zero. And then
Do you?
Oh, just that something in the upload went funny there. Richard's picture went really strange for a moment.
that's my main screen. That's easier to do it that way. But you can just hit a fucking button. That's my
That's
main.
pretty damn cool.
Yeah, some guy on Twitter does like graphic sort of alien art sort of stuff. Yeah, he's fucking class. And then I've got the other one, which is that. This is the shot of the Earth.
Is that Ich lieb dich?
Yep.
Hold on. No, that can't be the Earth. It's not right.
It is. It's perfectly round.
That's
and
a
flat in 2D
globe Earth.
dimension. It's perfectly round and flat in a 2D dimension.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
last one,
Totally. Yeah.
That this is the only screen I have that has stuff on it. This is like the work screen, and it's over there. It's so it's
That looks
nice.
very Mortal Kombat.
It's fucking
It is.
Sub-Zero.
It's one of the
Huh.
characters.
You know how hard it is to make a wallpaper that stretches across 4 of them? It's like fucking 6,780 by 1080 pixels. You fucking...
And get it to come out clear. Yeah, it's probably.
Oh, yeah. If you look on my folder on my computer, there is actually 7 versions of this. All with me moving them either left or right, because it's like the Earth is half on this screen and half on that. You have to shift them left to shift them right, to get it. Just to cover each screen. It's annoying. Now I'm rambling. Now I'm
Which
thinking
pic-
about it.
which composite picture of the Earth do you use?
Whatever NASA says is really good.
So probably the blue marble.
That actual shot is probably from a NASA website or something like that, or probably off Twitter. I can't know. I just like them. I see them. I save them.
Well, I saw the one of Sub-Zero or whatever his name is, but I didn't see the one of the Earth. Where's that? I could probably tell you which one it is.
It could even be digital art, man. I don't know. I seen it on Twitter. I thought it was cool. I'm sharing it now, B, if you want to show.
Well, it's Photoshop because it has to be.
Oh, yeah, it's a globe Earth.
That's blue
Oh,
marble.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That's the one they call blue marble.
God, so clear, man.
Yeah, the thing is, those clouds don't exist in reality. The Earth doesn't look like that from space, and they had to be superimposed.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure that's
And-
exactly how it happened.
And that's actually no, I'm really serious. I'm not kidding you at all.
Oh no, I
Like, I
agree
can
with
show
you,
you a
man.
video of the guy that did the clouds.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
I
talking
get it.
about. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because
I
the
don't
clouds don't look
actually
like
think
that from
that the
space.
picture of Sub-Zero was real or that crazy demon thing either. They just
Oh,
look
good.
pretty. They're nice backgrounds.
And this photo is a composite photo of several photos. So
Oh, no, I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why they say it's fake, because NASA has to piece
Well,
it.
it's
But,
not-
you can't get one big continuous picture. It's just
Oh
not.
yes, you can be. Did
Well-
you not? No. Seriously, be right.
You can
There
if you
is
do it
a
with a
camera. There is
video.
a-
You
no.
can.
There
What?
is a satellite that was put up, and I'm going to get my dates wrong and I'm going to get the details wrong. But if you go and look it up, you'll be able to find better details of it. There was a satellite was put up 60s, 70s, 80s, or whatever it was, into a geosynchronous orbit with Earth
Uh-huh.
from one of them points. I think there's 3 points or 4 points.
Yeah, the Lagrange points, there's 5.
Yep, right. And they had a TV signal in analog being sent out 24 hours a day for weeks on end, where you can actually see the Earth and it moving and the whole lot.
Oh.
And that was back way back when.
I didn't think they'd had one in high enough orbit to see the whole Earth in one shot.
Again, I'm probably wrong on my details. I may be wrong in the exact positioning of it, but do a Google search. There is a satellite that was up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever it was, in an analog version, an analog TV channel that recorded the Earth moving round and all the rest of it.
Mhm.
Richard's smiling at me. And it's nearly 4 in the morning, I'm assuming, Richard, here. I haven't looked at the clock in a while, so it's
Yeah.
only 2:45.
Oh, that's not bad.
Oh,
I'm going to have to go silent now until I can actually find and repute and back up my exact statement. So I will be back with a citation. You just feel free.
That's where they all go. Usually I get IQ, but this sentence structure lost me.
Okay. If he's going to go fact checking and putting out accurate information, isn't that going to get your channel kicked off of YouTube?
oh my God, no, Math Pig, no education here. No true education, only ideas and thoughts. No true education. Hi, Jenny.
Hey, Jenny.
You really don't want to hear my thoughts. My subconscious hates me. If I told you the nightmare I had last night,
Peace and respect, Jenny.
Yeah, back at you. I have a thought too.
What is your thought?
Well, it was kind of a dream. I dreamt that this giant pickle grabbed me and used me for a dildo. It was just so strange.
A giant pickle?
Yeah. Never
Are
mind.
you being serious right now?
either you're hanging around on Nerdy's channel too much,
I
or
guess
you've been
turnabout's
watching far
fair
too
play.
much Rick and Morty.
Or, yeah,
Richard gets it.
And now you understand why cats are afraid of cucumbers.
that's a damn fine point.
Hmm.
I still haven't tried that with my cat.
Well,
All right, well, don't everybody talk at once.
it'll probably work. Of course, why would we see the ones that don't work?
Wait,
Yeah,
is
I've seen
someone
a bunch of
asserting-
them online.
Is someone asserting that actual real cats are actually really in fear or shy of cucumbers? Is that a real thing?
At
No,
least
it's-
startled
it's-
by them,
it's-
apparently.
Yeah, they're startled by shape. They probably have some kind of deeply ingrained snake reaction.
That's my guess, that if it's there all of a sudden, they think a snake is sneaking up on them.
If it's there all of a sudden, cats are afraid of feathers.
Yeah.
They have all these videos online of these people just holding a cucumber in front of their cat, and their cat goes, "What the fuck? What's fuck?" and like runs. and
Grab a
shit.
spatula and do the
Oh.
exact same thing and make it viral. I bet you there'll be a load of videos of people with a spatula telling you that there's a cat afraid of spatulas.
Oh, absolutely. You can do it with whatever.
That's
Yeah.
because they simultaneously evolved, and spatulas are known to cook things or used in cooking.
I would say
and
if
that-
you went to Stuhl's hometown, a lot of cats are afraid of spatulas.
Would that be the spatulas in general, or just spatulas that have replaced your hands?
I think Stuhl's on the waiting list for surgery, but you need to check
Don't
with
you
him.
even go there, Jenny. There's no Dave in this stream yet.
Okay.
Oh, I get it now. It's a Dave question. I get it. Okay.
Spatula hands is a Stuhl thing. It was one of Dave's questions that the answers that Stuhl come up with was spatula hands.
Yeah, well, the question was one of those, would you rather have spatula hands or something else?
Nobody
remember.
remembers
what the other
something-
thing was even.
No-
I don't
Yeah.
know. We don't even know because everybody says. I think most people said spatula hands because I think it was like fur all over your body or horns coming out of your face or something ridiculous. And we were like, spatula
Who
hands,
knows?
of course.
We all just talked about spatulas for hands for like a half hour. It's all
No,
that
it was only
matters.
like 10 minutes. You're just tired.
Oh yeah. You want to pick on me? You want to take this outside? You want to take this outside? Yeah.
Yeah, but out of all the possible kitchen utensils, a spatula makes the most sense to use as a hand, don't you think?
I didn't know
tongs.
tongs. You could at least grip
Tongs,
something
yeah.
with.
Tongs would be better.
I don't know. Tongs tend to damage food. You know, they're,
So he needs to
You're
write that dad,
using the
that
tongs
dad
wrong.
joke down.
and
Oh
what if,
my gosh.
and what if you got something that's kind of stuck to the pan and you end up needing a spatula to free it anyways?
I just think it'd be rough just dealing with like everyday tasks with spatula. Like you can't even grab anything, man. I mean, if you tell me tongs, I'm feeling a little better about it.
Yeah, with a spatula, you got to pick something up and then you got to keep it level the whole time you're carrying it if you're walking anywhere. Otherwise, it's just going to slide right off.
Right? It's like the egg game with the spoon, but it's your entire life. Oh, I gotta get to work. I'm trying to hold my laptop. Oh, no, I'm good. I don't want to do it. Everything would slide off. And what are you going to do? Like what are you going to do? Oil them? That's not going to make it any better. There's nothing you can do. Put Velcro on them.
Wait, there's different kinds of spatulas. Not all of them are super slippery.
That's true. There's broad ones. There's thin ones. There's off angle spatulas. There's so many.
Yeah, but they're all pretty slippery is my point.
No, not true.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
don't know.
spatula-
You'd have to at least like coat them with shelving paper or something so they've got, a little bit of friction to them.
Although someone did take two spatulas and put them into a tong shape for flipping burgers and stuff on the grill. So I'll take those spatula hands so I can grab stuff. They're still considered spatulas.
Fair enough.
Okay, we need to change that topic. That's boring.
That's
Come
pretty
up with
much,
something different.
well, that was pretty much my answer to the duck question.
What was the duck question?
Duck, duck, goose.
About would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse?
One horse-sized duck.
100 horse-sized ducks or one duck-sized horse.
No.
And
You got it right
Either
the first
100
time.
Duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck.
Yep.
No, it's one horse. Yeah, one horse-sized duck. Yes.
yeah, well, that's my answer was one horse-sized duck, but I was going to take a horse from the Miocene
What do I
because
what,
at the time they were smaller than the current ducks are.
what do I get for weapons?
Nobody mentioned any weapons.
'Cause
Weapons would
I don't
be
think you're
allowed.
going to kill. I don't think you're going to kill a horse-sized duck with a spatula hand.
Sorry, ADD. What happened?
The
Jenny's
spatula
trying to
hand
fight
off.
the horse-sized duck with spatula hands.
At least I'm honest.
You're
I
a
don't
big
care if they
fat
are
lad.
horses
Your
or ducks. I
pants are
think
fire. I can see the smoke from here.
I think 100 of something the size of a duck would kick your butt eventually.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. You have much better chance against one thing because at least you can watch that one thing instead of 100 things attacking you.
yeah. If you're going to be swarmed by a bunch of things, that's a lot harder than fighting one large animal anyway.
I
One
don't think I wanna
chihuahua
take
is
on-
not scary, but 100 chihuahuas is very fucking scary. All attacking you at once.
Like land
Not cool.
piranhas.
Right?
Again, it comes down to what tool do you have to fight?
Yeah,
them?
well, see,
And-
there's a
turns,
perfect
turns.
example.
Weapons are not allowed.
There's a perfect example. I would rather fight one great white shark than several dozen piranha.
How
But
big's
what
the
about
great
a
white?
million goldfish?
I'd pick the
One
great white.
shark or a million goldfish?
Million goldfish. Those fuckers can't bite you for shit.
I
Yeah,
don't
but you're
know.
like a million of them. How are you going to get out? How are you going to breathe? They'll drag you down.
Have you seen some of those goldfish that have reached 2 feet long? They don't.
Yeah, and in the
Scary.
60s, goldfish
those
choked a
considered
lot of
koi?
college students.
No, that people have released into lakes and that have just grown on their own.
Oh yeah, a goldfish actually grows to the size of the pond that you put it in.
Yeah, they
Wow.
will.
Like 1-to-1 ratio.
Well, I don't know what the
Basically, yeah.
ratio is, but the bigger the pond, the bigger the goldfish.
Well, basically, they'll grow to whatever the available food supply is.
Yeah, room and food supply, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
fish out there that people have in tanks that get like this big, but if you put them in a bigger environment, they get huge.
The child's grandfather, before he passed away, he had the greenhouse. Well, it's still going now. I think his son's run now, but they have total hydroponics going in it. They have a massive tank with water with about 4 goldfish in it that started off real small that are now upwards of maybe 30 to 40 centimeters long. They feed them every day. The water goes through a pump, goes up through stones, feeds the strawberries, feeds all that, and then drains and goes back down again.
It's about 8 inches.
14
I think.
inches.
Oh, is
No.
it 14?
Well, 30 centimeters is 12 inches, and they're a little over 30
Yep.
centimeters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
So a little bit over a foot. Okay.
the pond in the park where I grew up. People, when they didn't want the goldfish anymore, they were tossing them in that pond all the time. And we pulled goldfish out of there that were 8-10 inches long.
I want to address theoretically real quick. The part that she didn't qualify but implied was that it was a newly hatched great white shark. It was only this big.
Right. That's why
That's why
Purple
that-
picked the yes,
That's why
absolutely.
over the piranha.
And let me just point out real quick, Ox, read that again. It says non-slip grip. That's the handles of the spatula are non-slip, which that doesn't matter because it's part of your arms now.
Stuffed up in the
So
air.
the end is not, because the point of spatulas is to flip things. If it was non-slip, things wouldn't fall off and then you'd have a mess. Like it would just be, they're never going to do that.
Think of a backhand spatula. Good for slapping.
When
Maya,
I was
my
a kid,
beautiful.
when I was a kid and I got my first aquarium, the aquarium store in town had a piranha all alone in its own tank, and it was 23 inches long. It was big. It was
That's
fucking-
big for a piranha.
was
They're usually only
scary
like
big.
8 inches, right?
yeah.
Depends on the size of the hole. Oh, sorry, that's a flashback humor to Richard's video.
I got nothing for you on that. Nothing at
You
all.
and Jim Hall. That's exactly a line from whatever you said. In
Yes,
Jim
yes,
Hall.
yes. I have no idea what you're talking about.
No.
Yes,
Exactly it is.
Oh, by the
Maya
way,
just
hey,
turned up. Maya's
Math Pig, can you make like digital music?
It depends what you're after. Do you want to hear a sample?
Well, what I want is okay. No,
It's-
please
oh, no,
do not
Richard's
do
not
that,
far
brother. I
off.
love you, but you're really white. Anyway, so what I
Richard
need.
is not far off. When I'm making digital music, I make it in what is known as a raw techno beat pad. Do you want to hear some? I've got loads.
Well, can I tell you what I'm looking for?
Oh yeah. Go for it.
I want something like jazzy, soothing. It's for hold music for work. It's not for me.
Oh. I've
So I
got
want
the
something like
jazz-
jazzy, soothing. It's got a good like happy beat to it, but not like
Out
too.
of
You don't
the
want. I want
available
people
free
to
beat
relax
pad?
while they're waiting forever for me to answer the phone because it never stops ringing. That's what
Play
I want.
Axel F.
And
Out of
and
the
I
free
need to.
available beat pad. There is one that is called Jazz Hop.
Okay. See, the problem we're having is that the whole music that Comcast gave us is really loud, and then it keeps going like every 8 seconds or something. It says, "Your call is important to us. Your call is important." And it's driving my patients mad. So I talked to the doctor about it, and I said I'd ask. I was actually thinking about you and see if you could, because I need a wave. I need it in a wave form, and I don't know how to do that.
Oh, you just convert something to a WAV. That's
Yeah,
easy.
I know you can do that. I can't. So that's why I need you. I need
Right,
you. I need you, little brother.
Hold on, let me see if I can find one. I think I've got one. Hold on. This is what I've been made before. Hold on.
You could take the opportunity to drop in some subliminal suggestions. Like ask your doctor about our monthly special hand special, or something like that.
Oh, wait. Ox, that's a good idea.
What did he say?
Too fast. Slower. Way slower.
Dance popping. This is what I've got. You want more? I've got this one. We've got hip hop. No, you don't like the hip hop one? No. They're wonderful, aren't they?
Ox said I've got a file with over 24 hours of native music. That actually might be interesting considering we are
Native
surrounded by reservations.
In saying that, you
Native
are a
reservations
YouTube
about that.
creator.
Native what?
You are a YouTube creator, dude.
I've got reservations. Did you just fucking say I have reservations about that?
B, you're a YouTube creator. You have a YouTube studio. Go to YouTube Studio, search in the audio file that is available, pick a song, tell me the name. I'll convert it to WAV form for you. Do it.
Okay.
And I just go to the audio library on the left-hand side. You know where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Just go in
I
there.
didn't
and
know.
that's all-
I've never explored it though, but I'll check it out.
That's all copyright-free music that you can use anywhere. And just pick a song you like. The search bar searches by mood as well as genre. So you can be like chill
Oh, that's
plus
complicated.
rock and get some nice rock music, or chill
Search
plus
bars
fast
now
rock.
have moods.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
When it
really
comes to
can't make
You
a
click
wave.
on it one day, it's like, hey. Next day, it's like, bitch, don't touch me.
But just pick a song, send me the name, I'll convert it to a WAV form, I'll send it back to you.
Fucking moody ass search bar. I ain't got
Well, I'm
time for it,
telling
man.
you. These things are getting way too complex.
When it comes to music, though, music is definitive by the mood. Music sets the mood. Music is you listen to what music you want to when you're in a mood.
Or to
Ain't it
create-
No, I
funny?
get it. It just sounded funny. The search part has moods. Like, I don't
I
know.
know.
I couldn't even resist it.
Ain't it funny how a
Literally.
memory? Ain't
Huh.
it funny how a melody brings back a memory?
It does. It does bring back a memory. Sometimes.
Every single time
Sometimes.
somebody plays Nirvana, what particular album is it? It's the one that smells like Teen Spirit on it. Whatever fucking album that is, it always makes me think of the Timeline book. Because I bought that album the same weekend I bought the Timeline book. And when I read the Timeline book over the course of 3 or 4 days, I was listening to Nirvana.
What's the timeline
I had
book?
a friend. I had a friend.
It's a book by Michael Crichton about time travel. It's called Timeline by Michael Crichton.
Oh, Crichton.
Crichton.
Right, there you go. I can never
Crichton.
fucking...
Just
It is
overdoing it,
Crichton.
man.
Funny
I-
story, they made a movie out of it, and the main character they actually cast as Billy Connolly, and it was a fucking shit movie, but that's a great book.
I love Billy Connolly.
It was a bad movie, though. It was a bad movie. They travel back in time to old style France, and they do it. It's sort of like a multiverse, sort of wormhole sort of idea. It's actually the book itself is fantastic. The movie's not so great, but the book is brilliant.
So
Until
there
you
must
get
have
to the last
if
few
it was
pages.
if it was in that era of France, then there had to be like sheep and goats, huh? In the
I don't
movie.
know. I didn't ask about Sheep and Goats.
I didn't know if it was that kind of bad.
It was really bad.
We keep it up,
I'm not
Master.
familiar
Richard's
with
gonna
that
leave.
particular. Yeah.
I don't know how much more I can take.
Richard, what would you like to talk about? Me and you haven't spoken in a while. Is there anything you would like to ask me? Is there anything you've seen recently that you've disagreed with me on? Or
You
What's your-
disagreed with me on?
Is there anything I agreed with you on? No.
I don't want to hang about with people that agree with me. It's really boring.
Oh, god damn it, Robbie.
What's your take on the latest science in solar ejecta affecting the low velocity zone below the crust? What do you think
I
about
don't
that?
know. How low are you going below the crotch?
Just below,
Just
the
below
low
the crust.
plastic zone.
I
Shadow
haven't
zone.
seen anything of that. You have to link me on it.
Okay.
I have a lot of stuff going on lately, so my science knowledge is a few months
Hmm.
behind.
What do you think about the flipping of the poles?
Oh, I think it's cool.
I'm not talking about springboards and Polish people. That's not what I'm talking about.
The
like
moving of the geomagnetic field around the
Yeah,
Earth.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing that they've predicted. It's happened a couple of times before, and the geomagnetic north is also like it's different regardless. It's different depending. Sorry, not
Yeah.
regardless.
Do
Depending
they have
on where
something
you
new on that lately?
Last time I looked, which has probably been a year or more, actually, EA, European Space Agency, ESA, triple satellite system called SWARM, which maps the magnetic anomalies during the flipping of the poles, has us at some 35% anomaly where south is north and north is south. So there's that. And you can look that map up by looking up I don't know why I keep saying that, ESA SWARM. And
It's the
then
European Space Agency.
Well, I
Yeah.
know from from mapping the Atlantic floor, they determined that due to the stripes on the Atlantic floor, it's reversed 26 times since the Atlantic Ocean opened up.
Is because of the stripes on the floor, or as a result, the stripes on the floor are there?
Well, just the
they're
rock,
magnetic stripes.
I
yeah,
think
the
you're
rock
mapping
that
it.
comes up as lava every time the pole flips, all the magnetic particles in the rocks reverse with each pole flip.
Yeah, iron
So that's why
filings
there's a
and-
series of stripes on the ocean floor.
We have giant buckets of iron filings at work, and I like that. I just want to get them and play with them with magnets. Like I'm talking massive buckets, 20, 25 liters of just shave. There's so much fun you could have with that with magnets.
Certainly could.
Well, you need an awful big magnet to affect.
Well, to
25
move the
liters.
entire bucket, I'm just saying that there's raw steel at work that you can play with. I recently made a fucking barbecue out of a piece of girder that was left over. There's no way on this earth that it's classed as portable because of its size. No way on this earth this fucker's portable. This thing's fucking, I think it's 8 mil thick steel and maybe about fucking 11 or 12 inches long. I put a handle on the damn thing so you can carry it. It's fucking heavy as hell.
Yeah, well, that's the definition of portable from the 70s, that if you screw a handle on top, anything counts as portable.
And then I went to the store and the only paint they had available was white or blue. So it looks like a big ass blue suitcase.
in the God, let's say it would have been the early '80s. I helped a friend set up their brand new compact portable computer that weighed about 35 pounds. And there's this little screen about 4 inches in
Yep.
diagonally.
I remember those.
Richard, did you hear?
Oh God!
I booked
Did I hear
a
what?
holiday for me and Elena that you may appreciate, enjoy, like. I don't know what way to use it. I booked us 4 days on an open farm where she gets to get up early and go and collect eggs from chickens, feed
Oh,
baby
how
goats
cute
with a
are
baby
you.
bottle.
That's awesome, man.
I bet she'll love it.
She nearly screamed the fucking house down when I told her it was booked. There's also llamas and like Scottish goats.
Wait,
with horns.
so you're
If you
going to
did-
go and pay someone else to do their chores for a week?
No,
Yeah.
it's an open farm. Open farm over here means that there's the farmers and stuff do their stuff, but you're allowed to be involved with it. So there is help. Like a 4-year-old is
Yep.
not going to do the chores of an actual farmer, but they do it on a small scale where the kids
Yeah.
can be involved, you know?
Yeah, I
mean,
know, I
if
get it.
they could, then child slavery would have started at a much younger age.
Oh yeah, I made jokes before the kids are just slaves that, I don't have to pay for, but
Well, and
Get that
children
for me,
make such good fertilizer too. They're smaller, so they break down easier. And
Make sure to turn them in the fall there.
Yeah.
yeah, she gets to do that. We're hopefully on the 31st of July. It'll be the night before the channel turns 2 years. We'll be having a party on my channel. B's invited. Everybody's invited. You know, we're all invited. I have to say B. It's your fucking channel, all right. That'll be happening on the Saturday night, and then on the Sunday, I'm picking up Elena, and then we're going to go and spend 4 days and camping. We're doing it in a tent. Yeah, in a tent with a sleeping bag. She wants a kiddie sleeping bag. The fucker offered me, he was like, would you like a camping site beside an electric port? And I was like, that's not really camping then, is it? No, I don't want electric. Fucking, no.
I get it. You know why? Because I like to sleep with a fan on. That's the only reason I use it. I just use it to run a fan at night. Otherwise, I don't care. I don't need electricity.
It's Ireland. It's not going to be roasting.
No. I can't sleep without one. I have to have the constant weights or I won't sleep well.
I actually saw that of somebody who had a tent pitched with an air conditioner in the window of it.
Oh, I've seen them. There's tents that are specifically made for air conditioners and air conditioners specifically made for tents.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, what's the point?
I don't fucking know.
Well, let's say you have to live in a tent for an extended period. Why would you not want it air conditioned? Tents get awfully damn hot.
Well, generally, if you're reduced to living in a tent, you don't have any place to plug in the air conditioner.
It's true. Okay, that's a good touche, Purple.
Can you share
Campgrounds have electricity all the time.
The Air Force guys had generators for their air conditioners in their tents. The Army people did not.
That's where.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You're telling me that the Air Force has air conditioning in their tents?
Yes, they had white
And I don't
tents.
know how many times I just laid there and sweat all night and never slept.
And they had air conditioning systems, and they had computers in there with them and everything else. Yeah.
There's no
Of course,
picture.
if you have computers, you have to have air conditioning.
Well, yeah, of course. You don't want your computers to overheat. They're expensive.
So there's the
Oh, that's
animals.
cool, Math Pig. That's awesome, man.
Ostriches, sheep, donkeys, loads of stuff. Yeah.
That ostrich didn't have a head. It kind of freaked me out.
I didn't click the picture. I was thinking the same fucking thing. Where's its face?
Well, the ostrich's head was in the sand.
Just an ostrich neck.
Do you know what the best
I want
part
to
about
see our
it is?
ostrich necks.
It's a literal 4-hour drive from where I live. And that's just going to be a pure music lesson the entire time, the whole way up the road.
Who goes there?
Arr.
For our drive in UK, it's pretty much the entire country, isn't it?
I couldn't. Just going to say what you were talking about. I'm a sensible person, and if you wish to play with me, that's quite okay. I really don't mind. And by the way, that guy with the ginger beard with the spectacles on, I think you're brilliant.
Oh, how nice. That was much better than the last thing you called me.
Yeah, by the way, I forgot that I was rather intoxicated, so I forgot the last thing I called you.
I'm not going to remind you any of the details, boss. You're okay.
I apologize if I was rather rude to you the last time I came on your show.
It was very nice of you to think of that. Thank you very much. I don't hold it against you either way.
Nice to meet you, Jimmy.
I was gonna say I don't know who the hell this is. I hope one of you guys know him, and then apparently you
It's
do. So,
lovely
okay, that's
to
cool.
be
Hi,
a human
Jimmy.
being. No. Okay, then. I have met the guy with the ginger beard with the spectacles on.
His name
feel
is
like
Richard.
it's-
Jimmy,
Yes.
Jimmy, if you just can't, his name is Richard.
Right.
Richard.
I didn't care too much for people that didn't come on webcam because I think they've got something to hide.
I'm on webcam all the time. It's not a problem. You want
Yeah.
to see what?
Yeah,
you look
by the
like?
way, Nana, purple rhymes with orange is not on the webcam. The lady below,
That's not going to
called
happen.
Jenny,
Just to clarify, Jimmy,
Jenny
you're
left.
coming into B's stream and you're telling everyone that they must be in cam or you won't.
by the
talk
way,
to them
there,
and don't
Matt,
respect-
Matt, I love you because you're on webcam too. I love everybody on webcam. You know why? Because everybody's real.
Yeah, purple rhymes with orange is
We're
actually
pretty real
a
here.
transformer. They turn into a vehicle and then back.
Anyways, I haven't came on here to disturb people. You know, I just came on here to say hi to everybody, and I think you're lovely. Hi there, Jen. I think you're lovely too. But really, you're not on a webcam, so maybe I'm just talking to a virtual reality picture.
Yes,
You know, come to think of it, there's been a few times that people kind of wish they could have turned Math Pig's camera off.
that's the
Yeah,
second
actually,
time tonight
most
actually
people-
someone said that. So
Most people request
feel
that,
Genuinely
actually.
hurt now. All right, genuinely hurt. Someone else said that in a previous stream earlier. I think it was Ox. He's in the chat. Ox was like, "Put Robbie on the small camera. We're sick of looking at his face." So
There
I'm
were no,
officially
that's not what I
just
mean. I
No,
mean,
I'm
there
gonna
were little
cry.
moments
I'm
of
going
time,
over here to cry. I'm going over
little
here. I'm
slivers of time where we wish we maybe hadn't seen
Yes.
a little thing, a little sliver of
Isn't it
moment.
nice to see people's reactions on webcam? And this is what I like, you see. People that do not come on webcam, you can't see their reaction.
Again,
Anything.
if I can point out, Jimmy, this is the first time here you've met tonight. Purple has been on camera. Generally, Jenny
been
is
drinking,
on camera. You're just being a little fixated on this one thing.
I'm not
Get
being a bit
past it.
fixated on
Get
webcam.
past it. Get
No, no.
past it.
It's like, listen, right? I'll give you for instance. If we're walking down maybe Dublin High Street, or
Hell
we're
no, Theo. Hell
walking
no.
in Newcastle, you know, everything's real. But in the virtual world, you can be anybody you want to be.
I think that is so
Yeah.
funny, considering that you are literally surrounded by more RGB than the fucking Blackpool Pleasure Beach on the fucking 12th of July, surrounded by all these
No,
things and all
no,
that. You could be anybody.
I
You could
think
be
you
anybody
like-
you wanted, mixer, deck, and all the rest.
Uh,
of
no,
it.
no,
You
no,
are
no,
probably
no, no.
the-
I
I'm
have
not
two
talking
good
about my
reasons.
mixer deck. It's not a mixer deck, by the way. It's a podcast. It's a Rode Procaster Pro. I don't mix with that.
Oh,
Okay.
you're a pro. Sorry, you're a pro.
Yeah.
Are you silly for spending
Apparently.
extra money when you can do the same thing with a mobile?
Oh, by
phone?
the way,
No
I
way.
think this guy wants to talk to me in a professional manner. But this guy will not be on voice. Talk to me in a professional manner. And this guy likes to stay on his little picture.
What picture? I haven't got a picture up. I'm on a camera.
Right. Which one are you on the webcam? Are
I'm
you
the one
with Paulie
talking.
Guy?
Do your eyes not work?
Are you? Right, okay. Thank you for coming on the webcam because I can see your reaction. And I can see your reaction when you talk to me.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
Oh,
for-
look at that. I think it's great. He's
Third
doing
time
the-
now you've said that,
High
Jimmy.
five.
Third time you said that now, Jimmy.
By the way, there, Matt, it's not the third time I see it. But if you want to be involved in a conversation with me,
Not really.
I wonder why, Matt.
Because you're
wonder why.
repeating yourself. We're not getting anywhere, and you are.
Maybe
just
because I'm doing repeat stuff, Matt.
And
Maybe you're
actually,
trying to-
you
Maybe,
actually
Matt,
kind of.
you're trying
kinda-
to convince people that I
Excuse me.
myself.
Excuse me. Thanks. And you kind of like came in and derailed the conversation, so that was kind of
You
interesting.
didn't make it interesting
So-
though.
And
Back
now
forth
it's
is
like
interesting.
everybody against me, you see, because these
If I
people-
if I can just step
these
in,
people
and
are part of
Jimmy,
a gang.
Jimmy,
Everybody
let me
against
just say
Jimmy.
this. Jimmy, let me just say this, right? We'll
See,
start
I
with a
think you are.
complete. No,
Of course you
please. I'm going to be as nice as possible. Let's
I'm
start
about to
with a
not be.
complete- Let's start again with a complete clean slate. The reason that there was problems when you first come in is because
Yes.
you refused to. Please, if I can just finish and then we can start afresh. Is that we told you that Richard's name was Richard? You kept calling him the ginger bearded guy, and you picked
Yeah.
on people that didn't have icons. So
I
if we
was a
can,
little
then
bit-
Oh, wait.
if we can move past the fact that people are icons, if we can move past the fact that he's not the ginger bearded guy because he fucking left, and Rich, I haven't. Right? If we
He'll be
can
back.
start
He
afresh,
just went to smoke.
we can have a conversation and we can talk about whatever topic you want, except why people are icons.
Right, okay then.
Nice to meet you, Jimmy. How are you?
So,
Why
so Jimmy,
accept- No. Bob, please.
Go ahead.
give it a chance. Come on.
go ahead.
The reason why I accept the baldy guy with the spectacles on, because I did not know who was who when I first joined. Everything seemed mixed up to me because I don't know anybody,
Which
So
is understandable up until the third
Yes.
time that you're told.
I
So-
didn't know anyone. Okay.
So I,
By the way,
Jimmy,
there.
so-
No.
Jimmy,
By the way,
Just so
I
you
do
know-
not repeat myself.
Jimmy, just so you know, I have the rule I have on my channel is just don't be a dick. That's it. Just be
Okay,
respectful.
then.
Don't talk over people. Don't be an asshole, and you can hang out as much as you want. Okay, deal? Cool. That's my rule.
That is fantastic. Thank you for that rule.
Just don't be
Jimmy,
a dick. That's
Can I ask you a few questions, Jimmy, and we can start a conversation? Would you be open to that?
You can ask me anything you want.
Where are you based? England, America, Europe, Australia?
By the way, I find that rather unusual that you asked that question when you knew exactly that I come from Newcastle upon Tyne. Thank you.
I've
It doesn't mean
never
you
met-
live there right now.
Jimmy,
Yeah,
Jimmy, a problem I have is actually placing accents. Anybody who knows my past and things like that, I'm not very good with placing accents. So
All
that's
right.
a specific reason that I asked, so I could get sort of where you were. There was a reason behind it.
All right. So, like,
No offense was meant by that. I'm just literally myself, not good with accents.
it's sort of like a little bit of a fence, but I don't mind. I know that you're more likely from Northern Ireland.
So you know
You
of me?
maybe could be
Do you
from.
know of me, Jimmy, or are you just placing my accent? Have you seen my channel before, or are you just placing my accent?
It's the first time I've been here, actually, but I would rather gather, right, in this conversation, you could more likely be from Northern Ireland or maybe Dublin. I really don't know, you know.
First of all, this isn't his channel; it's mine.
Right,
Although
okay.
you will see me on his all the time too. We switch around. We're all buddies. We all support each other. So
Who let you in here?
I let him
Only
in
big
because
fans. Only
I
big
thought he was a
fans.
friend
Only
of
big
one
fans.
of you guys because I'd never seen him before, and I give everybody one chance. And then if they just fuck up too much, I just kick them. You know how I am, Jenny.
Jimmy,
Oh,
another
okay,
question if I can
it's
ask you.
just like the one chance. I haven't said anything.
Jimmy.
And like, it's the first time I've met you all, so I
That's
find
what I
it
was
rather
just about
great.
to ask, Jimmy. Did YouTube give you this as a live stream suggestion?
What do you mean?
How did you find us?
How did I find you? I didn't
Yeah.
find you with a YouTube search. I found you with a search good way. I did really in a way. I found you by searching StreamYard live shows with a filter.
So yeah, just search live streams. I've done that before.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, you get. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, sometimes you run into some good shit. It's true.
Well,
cool
it
with
is
that.
nice to meet you, Jimmy.
Oh, please don't kick me for no reason. I'm sorry.
No, I won't. I won't. I just want you
Thank
to
you.
just be respectful and don't talk over people.
No,
Because
no,
you kind of did that to me twice already when I was trying to say something. Just be respectful to everybody. That's all I ask.
Okay,
All right.
then.
Thank you.
I won't
appreciate that.
talk over anybody.
Well, I'm assuming that you, with all this equipment and more out, need a Blackpool.
Yeah, I'm sure a cigarette there, ladies and
The hell
gentlemen.
was that?
Sorry.
Soundboard. What is your channel based around, Jimmy?
My channel is, I don't want to advertise my channel because I think it's silly to advertise my channel.
Do you record live streams where you join drunk and then have fun about them?
I
the
don't
next
record
day?
nobody. Yeah, I don't record nothing.
Okay.
There you
just
go,
check.
Math Pig.
Oh,
Ox already looked him up.
Ox is fantastic.
And
So your
yes,
channel is
Purple, I
just silly.
agree. I agree. I find it best to not deal in reality too often. Sometimes it's just fun to have fun and not deal with all the bullshit. Right? It's a fact.
Mhm.
It's a fact. So, Randy, how you doing, buddy?
Well, I've had a pretty shitty day. My toilet broke.
Damn it! Is it a bidet now? Does it just spraying
So-
everywhere, or
No,
Is
no,
it
no,
not
no,
spo-
no. I had to replace the wax ring, and I pulled it out and then set it aside, and then something happened where I thought I had it all secure, but it fell off a little ledge and then broke the tank. So then I had to go to the store, and they didn't have just a tank, so I just spent like $80 on an entire toilet, and now I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna use the outhouse and go to sleep.
son of a bitch? I hate it when stuff like
I'll
that
do it
happens.
tomorrow.
Thanks for
Don't-
coming back, Richard.
Don't over-torque that thing, or you'll be buying another $80 toilet.
Yep.
So, anyways, we were in the middle of you guys were in the middle of talking about stuff, kind of
Well,
like
I was just
astronomical universe space shit. So let's go back to that.
Richard.
Oh well, I don't know. I just think
I don't know. She
I
caught
just
me
think
off
this-
guard. I had
the-
nobody else to go to.
I think the most modern science is really interesting stuff. We're discovering things at really an exponential rate. It's like you almost can't keep up with it.
I will agree with you that technology and information is growing at an exponential rate. I think it's every 3 days there's more data created that day than there was the previous 5 years before or something. And, it's an insane amount, with Instagram and pictures, the fact that most people now take pictures of very high quality, the data that is required for that, the information and the electric,
Yeah, when I was younger, right? That's a question.
Is it
When I was-
relative to the topic, Jimmy?
Yeah,
please.
it is.
Good.
When I was
good to hear.
younger, people used to write each other a letter, and it used to mean something. But nowadays, with technology, I think technology is slowly taking over human beings, as in you and everybody else. And
I
that
think
is
it's
Can I
kind of
add
a
something
shame.
to that? What
I
Jimmy
think
is
the
saying?
irony that you have
I
so much
still
tech
write-
around you.
Okay, hold on. Randy, disclaimer. He's on laggy internet and he's about 6 to 8 seconds behind everybody. So
Sorry, that's me.
okay, we're gonna do the raise hand thing,
Richard,
Randy.
quit
And then
laughing.
I'll holler at you. Just raise your hand and I'll get you in there. Go ahead though. Go ahead, Randy.
I
Okay,
didn't need
I
a real
still write,
good
like
internet speed.
calligraphy, real letters. Then I have my own wax stamp with my initials on it. That way, people know that they got it from me, and they love it because I actually put the time and effort in it. It's not just something to look at nostalgically. It's, hey, this guy actually took the time to care to write me something personal.
Right. Now,
Right.
Yeah,
That's
If
why
I
exactly.
can jump off the back of that, right? This is something that I've wanted
Thank you
to
there, harmonica. Thank you.
jump off the back of that, right? If people are noticing now, records are coming back. Old school technology sort of thing is coming back again. And I'm not going to go down the whole Star Trek route or anything like this. I don't know, Jimmy, if you're used to these sort of conversations, maybe slightly above your baseball
And
cap.
I know what you mean about vinyl records. I know
Yeah.
exactly what you mean.
No bother. The idea that everybody is provided a basic service, say for talk's sake, I'm going to make it very, very simple and broad brush. A company or a production company, something like IKEA, is provided for free for everybody. So if you need a bed, you need a sofa, you need this, you are given one for free. If you want a fucking handmade, really, really nice one, then there's that incentive to get past the universal income that you get. There's a drive then to join a job, to get an education, to work better for humankind, because you want that slightly nicer chair. Not that you're going to do without one, but when something's handmade, when something has got that time and effort, and the hours that's put into it, it's worth a hell of a lot more. Regardless of what the materials are, the fact that somebody's put into it, it's worth a hell of a lot more.
Absolutely.
Well, also
Absolutely.
just the materials, make a huge difference for the durability, even if it's factory produced.
Oh yeah, obviously don't buy shit and spend 6 hours working on it. Buy something nice. But you get the point I'm making.
Yeah. No, but what I mean is, even if it's something that's mass produced, the difference between buying an IKEA table and buying a mass produced table that's actually made out of oak or even pine, even a pine one is going to last you many years longer.
I'm on the lookout now for a second-hand wardrobe, and I've got my mum on Facebook alerts for a second-hand wardrobe, and it's not IKEA. It must be real wood. That is one of the definitions of buying it. It must be real wood because it'll be heavy, it'll be strong, and it'll last.
I've never seen a single thing from IKEA I would ever spend a dime on.
Their cups are
Except for
good. Glassware and kitchenware is not bad.
Does anyone have any
Well,
idea
then,
why the word?
Listen, right? This goes out to everybody, including myself. We're all on Facebook.
No, we're
and
not.
we give our information out to governments and everybody else. What do you think of that?
I'm not on Facebook.
Yeah. Okay, then.
Here's
You know what, when people normally say they're not on Facebook, they normally are with their mobile phone or their mobile device.
And does anyone here besides me know why it's called a wardrobe?
Because it's
Ward.
Richard.
A ward was someone
Because they
who
had to
used
carry it
to
off to
take
war.
care of men. The ward was
Close.
the person who went and got the clothes for the gentleman.
Close.
right?
Close. Actually, ward means a place where they stay, where that person stays.
Hmm.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
wing. It's a wing. The reason they're called a ward is because they stay in a ward.
Okay.
The reason it's called ward robe is because there was an entire ward of the castle that was just for robes.
Right.
So basically, the big ass walk-in wardrobe for the king.
It was
Yeah.
it was like a wing of clothes. Yeah, exactly. Huge wing of clothes. Yeah, okay. I do remember that. Yep.
It was Henry someone help me out. Henry the Eighth, I think.
I am Henry. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm Henry the Eighth.
Well, yeah,
I
because
am
his
Henry
weight
the
goes
Eighth.
up and
I
down
am.
more than Oprah.
Oh, I got married to the widow next door. She's been married 7 times before, and everyone was an Henry. She
Henry.
wouldn't have a Willie or a Sam. I'm her eighth old man. I'm Henry. Henry the Eighth. I am.
He had to finish it. You can't stop in the middle of that, Jenny. Come on, you gotta let a guy finish. You know.
Sorry.
No,
Anyways,
that's
go ahead,
part,
Jay.
part of it. That's
Oh, what were you saying? I
part-
couldn't hear.
Jenny, have you got headphones? There's an awful lot of clicking. I think it's coming from you.
No, it's coming from you. You got a dirty cable under the Atlantic.
Also, by the way, Jimmy, you might want to turn your gain down just a little bit. You got a little bit of fuzz on the edge.
I
You know what
don't
I
need
mean?
to turn anything down, by the way. I'm using a Rodecaster microphone, and my microphone sounds right
Okay, I'm just letting you know.
Thank you.
Your gain seems high. Okay, I was
Oh,
just
Maybe,
she's trying
maybe
to
you'll
say-
have some sort of internet interference, Jen.
B. If you click the 3 dots on his head.
Oh, I
you
know.
can- Yeah.
Oh, she is. She's clicking the 3 dots on my head. She's going to do something, maybe me or something like that.
She just has to turn your volume down.
No, I'm
about
going
10%.
to turn your volume down a little bit because you're a little bit high too on the volume.
That's it.
Hey,
Jimmy.
listen, listen,
Your
listen,
but you see, this is the point, Jimmy. The point that B is making is your mic is so good, it is louder and clearer than everyone else's. So
Exactly.
when you speak,
and that's what I like.
yes, I know that's what you like.
Listen, you guys need to watch somebody called John McAfee, who actually said that he wouldn't commit suicide, but unfortunately, he died in a Barcelona jail. Now, listen
Thanks.
to his interviews. It's called John McAfee, and he tells a good story. You need to Google him or YouTube him and get to find out about him. He was really an interesting guy. He brought about the McAfee antivirus back in the early days when computers first started.
Yeah,
And really, go watch some of his interviews and go learn about the things he tell everybody about cryptocurrency, about crypto is really good. It'll earn governments. Governments should be not earning us. If crypto comes around, which I think it maybe will sometime in the future, governments will no longer have income tax or money from the people, us people who work.
can I ask a question, Jimmy?
We work to pay governments money. The governments take 4 months in a year. All that money, yes, governments.
I don't know. You just keep talking. Does this usually work for you?
You work for 8 months in the year. The other 4 months, the government take the income tax. And then adds up to 4 months. It really does.
It really depends
But
on
the
your income
government-
bracket, your age, how many dependents you have,
Yeah,
whether or
man.
not you're employed.
2 seconds.
Jimmy,
I
just
did not finish.
Jimmy. No, you
Plus,
talk for a
if you
while
live in
now.
Star
Now it's
Trek
my
land.
turn. B, do you mind
The
if I?
guy with the
B, do you mind?
junior
B, do you
government
mind?
take 4
Jimmy,
months.
you've talked for a while now.
Your
Totally off
wages
topic.
from
Totally
you.
off topic. You've
And you
talked
said the
for-
same thing 3 times.
Yeah.
We
I
heard
was
just
like,
wondering,
I was
Does
just
this
staying
usually
quiet.
work for you? Do you usually jump into streams and get to make yourself feel like the center of attention when you've had 10 cans in you? Does that usually work for you?
You're not really. I do not wish to be the center of attention, but I
Well,
do
then
like
shut the
to
fuck
make
up and
point
let other
across.
people talk.
Okay, I'll be quiet. And don't tell me to shut the fuck up. Okay, thank you.
I love that thing.
Man, you know
That's my
yourself.
little
I'm married.
bro.
I swear like a sailor. It's just the way we
By the
are.
way,
you
there,
know?
son, listen, you may earn a stream, but you may not tell me what to do.
B,
Thank you.
B, would you mind if I moderated this chat?
Go
You
ahead.
can do anything you want.
Oh, I
except
can. There you go. Look, I just got the
Bombay for no
owner's
reason.
permission to do whatever the fuck I want. So, Jimmy,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a few questions, right?
Yeah, but didn't kick me for no reason. Thank
Nobody
you.
kicked you for no reason. We'll kick you because you're ignorant.
Not
You
no
won't shut up.
reason.
Jimmy, can I ask you a few questions?
You can ask me anything.
Right. First and foremost, how many beers have you had?
How many beers have I had? That doesn't come into the conversation. If
Well,
I'm
I've had a
talking-
bottle and a half of wine, and I have to get up for work in 3.5 hours. So I'll be honest with you. I've had a bottle and a half of wine, but I'm Irish. I can hold my drink. What about yourself?
Right. Oh, that says it all. Listen, I'm from Newcastle. I didn't
Okay,
want
so
to
no
tell
answer
you.
for question one.
No,
right.
no.
Here's
Listen,
two.
listen. You asked me a question. You said,
And I'd
how many
love you to
beers
give me an answer.
have I had? I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to tell you how many beers
Jimmy,
have
I'm
I
just going to have fun here. Richard,
I
don't
wanna
hide
know
your
too.
laughter.
I
Don't
wanna
hide your
know.
laughter.
Yeah.
Right,
I have an
Richard, just
inquiring
laugh
mind.
with it.
He can't answer because
I
he
wanna
can't count
know.
that
By the
high.
way, there, ladies and gentlemen, if this guy gets rid of me, he wants to get rid of me because he
No one's
thinks
getting rid of
I'm
you.
No,
trying to
no.
be-
I'm
No,
literally
No, people
going
are inviting
use
you to enter the
for-
conversation. That's
Jimmy,
what they're
I'm
doing
going
here.
to be desperately honest with you, and
I'm
you are
going to
that
be
pissed that
quiet
you
now.
will not
I'm going to be
remember, right?
quiet.
I'm going to
I want
use
to-
you for comedy for the next 20 minutes. We're all going to have a good laugh, and all going well, you will probably leave. I'm going to be straight up honest with you, and I'm going to then
not-
distract you by, here, Jimmy, what's up behind you?
I'm not going to say anything. I think I'll let you say it all.
Well, I'm going to ask you some questions, Jimmy.
Yeah, okay.
You already agreed to
Questions,
answer.
This
with
should
the
be
questions entail you trying to make me look like an idiot.
I really don't need to try.
You don't need to do anything.
I know. By the way,
I'm
the
just
guy
letting
who
him go.
stuttered- sorry for you stuttering because that's a sign of lying. By the way, the guy who said he wants to make me out to be like an idiot, go ahead.
No. I said I'm going to
Whatever you
use
want.
you for a comedy factor. I'm going to use you
All
for
right,
a comedy
comedy
factor.
factor now. Okay. Are we not having an intellectual conversation? And now you want to do the
We
comedy?
were having an intellectual
Hey.
conversation, and then your baseball cap got blown off the top of your head, and you had no
Yeah.
idea what was going on.
Yeah.
So you diverged the topic back to yourself, and this is how we ended up here. So,
Yeah,
how big's your
okay.
shoe? What size is your shoes?
Can I ask you one thing? If
You can ask me
feel-
anything you want, Jimmy, and I will give you the honest answer that I
Right,
can think
right,
of.
okay. If you feel belittled by me, don't worry. I'll sit back and listen to you.
We don't feel
I
belittled
prefer
by
to
you.
Excuse me.
You keep repeating yourself, and you're going off topic
Jimmy,
a lot. So we
I
just
am
kind of
not
think you're.
Jimmy,
We just
if
kind
I-
of think you're
I'm
drunk
saying that.
right now.
Thank you.
Jimmy, if I can say, my
I will give the
13-year-old
picture
teenage
back to
self
us.
wore a
I'm not gonna
tracksuit
say
that you're
anything.
wearing right now.
you.
I am not belittled by you in any way. I grew out of a tracksuit like that about 25 years ago. You are fine, man. Knock
Okay.
yourself out.
Okay.
By the way,
Okay,
with a
Richard.
tape, I
Richard,
roll it.
Richard would
Richard.
like to speak. Richard would
Richard.
like to speak.
Can I be
Vicarious
quiet?
hand raising for Randy. Go ahead, Randy.
Hi, Randy, by the way.
Say it, Randy. What's going on? Vicarious hand raising.
Randy, I don't blame you for laughing, by the way.
Yes, Jimmy, we all feel belittled by you. You know, thank you for gracing us with your mighty fucking.
By the way, there,
presence.
Randy, I don't blame you for laughing, darling. You know these guys who think they're intellectual.
Thank you, my lord.
Oh no,
What
I'm stupid
guy-
as fuck.
what
I'm
guy
stupid
at
as
this
fuck.
panel
But that says an awful
found
lot
out?
about you because you're lower than me. So you know.
Oh, yes.
Oh my
I'm
God,
learning
hurts.
everybody.
Holy shit.
Oh.
I'm not talking no more. I'm sure.
Robbie, just let me know when you're done playing. But go ahead. What's the next question, Robbie? Go ahead.
What is your thoughts on God, Jimmy? Are you an atheist, a theist, an agnostic, a deist? Are you a Mormon?
Right.
Pagan.
Should I give you my honest opinion? What
I
am
would
thinking of
love
God?
to hear your
That'd be great.
honest
Right.
opinion.
Kevin.
No, everybody here's nodding like fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Except the people who have icons because they're not real.
May I give you the answer without you talking over the top of me? My thoughts on God are I'm an atheist, and I believe in everybody's body has energy, which is a fact. And maybe the energy disappears when you die. It goes up. It doesn't go down. So the very thought of you and the very conscience of you may be in that energy. I don't know.
Well, can
No
I
one
ask
knows.
you just one question on that topic?
But I would like to think
If
that
you died in
energy
Australia or
your
died in
body
Newcastle,
goes up. I'll just give you an answer. You
oh no,
didn't
no, no, yes, but I'm stuck on one thing because you said
Yeah.
specifically that it goes up and doesn't go down. But if you
Yes, it
died in
does.
Australia
Energy
on
goes
holiday,
up, it doesn't
yeah,
go
if you
down.
died in Australia on holiday and you went up, then you would be going down, and I'm slightly confused by that.
It has
Yeah,
to
but
pass
you're
through the whole
giving me a
planet.
silly thought, aren't you? I'm
Pardon?
talking about the whole planet. I'm talking about the planet and the universe
Yeah,
where
yeah.
we live. Energy goes up. It doesn't. It never goes down.
Right.
The
So
old
time
energy
out.
goes up.
goes
Time
up
out.
in space.
You have to define
out.
up and down.
If you look into, well, you can define up and down in comparison to the planet, because off the planet it wouldn't matter at all.
Be
So
check
you could say up is away from the core. You can always say that, right? And then you could say down is toward the core.
Don't
Yeah.
give him
Okay.
the answer.
So
I never thought about that, right? Because
Really?
planet Earth-
Really? Can I ask what
Wow.
age are you, Jimmy? Jimmy, what age are you? Jimmy, what age are you? Please tell me you're over fucking 15. What age are you, Jimmy?
58.
You're 58 and you never thought about
Yeah.
the center of the earth being down. Okay, thank you very much for that clarification.
Yeah, I didn't. But when you say that,
wait, that wasn't my
Point
point.
of
Hold
view.
on, Jimmy, hold on. Give me just a second. I want to talk about energy always going up or possibly always going down, because neither one is true. If you look into sprites, where the upper stratosphere
Ooh,
actually
sprites are
induces
cool.
energy, they're beautiful. If you look where the atmosphere is actually inducing energy from outer space, you get like upside down lightning going from outer space toward the cloud bank.
I seen a fucking probably fake picture the other day of a lightning hitting the front of a plane and then
Yeah.
coming out the back, and it was like lightning and then lightning. There was a gap in the middle, and I was like, what
That
the fuck?
can happen. Depends on the charge differential,
I don't know,
and then
everybody
you can
says
also
By the
see
time it
you can
comes
also
up
see
from the cloud.
lightning. You can also see lightning going from the Earth, especially if you look for like high speed film footage of lightning. You can find it
Correct.
where it goes up into the cloud bank and then sprites out into space. So it actually works both ways.
I never thought about it that way. But isn't it a
And
good
if you think
thought?
about it, what that means is there must be a charge differential between the outer space and the planet in order for that to happen, right? Which means that the Earth is a capacitor, and if it sometimes goes the opposite direction, it means the Earth is full.
That makes perfect sense, Richard.
It do.
That's exactly
Yeah.
him and I had this conversation a few days ago, and I was like,
Yep.
I never thought about it. Mind
Uh,
blown. Like we
for
went in
Ollie-
detail with it, and I
Is it-
just can't say anything but mind blown.
Is
Okay,
it-
that's right.
They studied
Full of
this
what?
Just to
when I was
address
like
the chat,
18.
is it-
Woo, woo, woo.
Raise the hand,
Oh,
Randy.
yeah.
Raise the hand, bro. Raise the hand. Very good.
Everybody take a deep breath.
Full
Hold
of
on,
what?
first-
I did.
Full-
I only
For a long
raised
time.
one finger because it's not that important.
Okay, full of what is what Jenny said. Purple, what did you say?
Just let Randy go.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Randy.
I had a question. Jimmy, you made the statement of energy never changes or goes away. Then why the
Yeah.
hell am I so damn tired all the time at over 50?
Ooh, I got an
Well,
answer
not
to
even
that.
the right thing.
That maybe has something to do with you, and maybe your father's DNA he's passed it on to you, you know?
I didn't know people could live as long as 58. That's pretty impressive.
I got a suggestion for you,
Richard.
Randy.
Listen,
Since energy and matter are the same thing, the more matter you have, the more energy it takes to maintain
Slap you
it.
big.
Perhaps
Richard.
if you just lost about 20 pounds, I'm just kidding.
It's a fucking
Richard,
bandana.
right?
It's not a fucking
Yeah.
handkerchief. It's a fucking bandana.
Yeah.
Whatever. Sorry, I meant bandana.
Hang on.
I apologize.
Let me ask
Everything
this
else
question,
is perfect,
right?
though.
The human being has energy in the body. What is
23 and a half
the-
grams, according to the
What is
fucking
the
Gay
very
channel.
thing of you, you know? Would it be that energy? Would it be a conscience? I mean, what is you?
Well,
I mean,
according to studies,
tell me.
according to Sorry, Richard, I cut you off. Sorry, I'm just having so much fun. Going ahead.
It's all you, bro. Go ahead.
Man, what is the very existence of you?
Could you define that question? Because you're just called
I
what we
can't
would refer
define
to
it.
as word salad.
I don't think
Wait,
anybody
wait.
can
Well,
define what
let
is
me-
So
let
you
me ask
can't define a hold on. So you can't define a question that you want an
No,
answer
no.
to.
Me
I would
physically,
like to
me
call it-
mentally,
do it.
I
me
might as well ask you
spiritually, me what?
What is the way to square
Uh,
a circle?
I do mean spiritually because I'm an atheist, right?
No, you're
Well,
not.
I
an
mean,
atheist,
I
you're
don't
a
know, I'm
deist.
just
You're a
asking.
deist. You're a deist. You're not intelligent enough to
I
know.
would
Richard,
like to define the very
Wait. You could be a
you
you could be
as
an
energy
atheist.
in your body. When that disappears, you go up or wherever you go to, you know, because
Wait,
energy.
it sounds
I go
like
that way.
I
That's
got
the
some
way I go. I
clarifying
go up.
questions.
Would
I-
that be the very existence of you? Your
Do you-
energy, your
do you-
body?
Do you believe the Earth is flat?
No, I don't. Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, Richard
Why
said
don't you
Jan.
accept that?
Okay, Richard, go ahead.
I've got some serious clarifying questions for Jimmy, and I really need the answers. I'm not pulling your
Yeah.
leg at all. In order for me to understand your position, would you say that you're closer to being deistic or perhaps pantheistic? Or, I mean, what common term do you use to describe your belief system? Because you could be an atheist who's pantheistic if the pantheon is the galaxy, the universe, whatever.
My common term for believing in the belief, what I believe in, is just science, scientific, proven. Not
Swear to God, I'm
religion.
totally muted. Nobody can hear me.
I was
Good
trying
job.
to figure out what you were saying in the private chat because I was like, dude, I don't hear shit. I don't even know what you're trying to say.
That's the
Go
whole
ahead, Matt
point.
Big.
I'm letting Richard have his bit because if I don't fucking mute
Oh.
myself, I'm gonna scream.
Hi, Richard. I love you, son. And thank you for your
You-
experience. in life.
well, you're my brother, and I love you too. I'm just trying to figure out where you're coming from, so I don't straw man you accidentally. I'm not trying to attack your position and not understand it. That would be
you know
unfair.
Richard, right? I'll give everybody a belief system. Jesus Christ was a guy who lived back in the day, and Jesus was a very common name back in Israel. Jesus Christ was just the evangelist of his day. He told a good story. Unfortunately, that story continued till today.
Well, I don't know if that's fortunate or
Wars.
unfortunate.
I'm
It
gonna-
depends on who you ask. If you ask Richard Carrier,
Wars,
it's probably
the wars
unfortunate.
caused
But if you ask
problems
Christopher
in
Hitchens,
the world.
he says he would not have demolished religion had he had the chance. So it all depends on who you're talking
Right.
about, whether or not it's advantageous.
Religion to me there, Richard, has always caused wars since time began. And I
No,
think that's
humans
true.
cause wars. They justify them with religions.
Yes.
I'm thinking, no, that's a lie.
Religions don't cause
Religion
wars.
Causes
No,
wars.
religions don't cause wars. People cause wars.
No, because there's plenty of wars that were based off of money and had nothing to do with religion.
And
So
other
religion
stuff.
causes wars. Simple as that.
Vegetables cause wars.
By the way,
No.
look at Israel. Look at Israel.
If I can just point out, guns don't kill people. Stupid people do.
No,
Yeah, that's
vegetables cause things like celery strings in your teeth.
Which cause wars.
I had a pizza
Which
pop
causes
on
war.
my fucking tooth
That's it.
after the movie with the child for must have been like I felt like 48 hours. I had to go like 2 different types of toothpick and get a type. Yeah, that shit gets stuck in your teeth.
And
By the
often,
way, the people who
often
talk about
governments will get us
toothpicks,
into wars
yeah,
because they
whatever.
want some resources from someplace, but they will tell the people that it's about religion.
And zucchini can cause orgasms.
Just if I can ask for the 6 other people in this panel other than Jimmy, right? Did ask the few things that Jimmy has repeated in the last
Yeah,
few
by the
minutes.
way, don't say it other than Jimmy because you're trying to make me out to be the odd one out.
The reason I
Shut
said
up.
other
Thank
than
you.
Jimmy is because you were the person that said these statements. Jimmy, would you like to give your opinion on your own statements?
What statement would that be?
That's what I was just about to say, but you cut me off.
Okay. I didn't cut you off. I said, what statement would that be?
I'm about to say that, Jimmy, if you just...
I'm still waiting for how many beers.
Jesus, basic mythicism, a few wee this, that's, and the others. Is anybody else hearing anything else except clickbait memes and stuff that we learned about 4 years ago, 10 years ago? Is there?
To be honest, Robbie, what I'm hearing from Mr. Jimmy here is a lot of atheistic tropes.
Yes,
that are held. They're held in regard by some small percentage of the atheistic population, but the greatest thinkers in atheism would not necessarily agree.
Thank you very much for thinking of me like that, Richard. But yes, no, that's the exact point I'm fucking making. Is this is only thing that if you can find anything from this conversation tonight, Jimmy, and I know that I've had fun with you and all the rest of it, but if you can take anything from this conversation, no, please, if you, I know you're wiggling your hand. I know, please just wait. If you can take anything from this conversation tonight, pick a topic, follow down that rabbit hole, go and think about it. Think more about why you're thinking about it. Think more about why.
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say while you're thinking, I'm going to put you behind the screen. Please don't.
You're going to hide me behind a screen, but you'll still be able to hear my voice.
You're going to drop me down.
He can't kick you out. Please stop saying that.
I literally can do nothing here. This is only B. All right, and B let you in, and I'm genuinely trying to reach out with a slight olive branch.
You want to say, if I could take anything away from this conversation,
yes,
what would it be?
No, I'm not asking you. I'm not asking what your opinion of this conversation would be. I'm trying to finish a statement, and then you can answer that question if you want to me. What I'm saying is, if you can take anything away from this conversation tonight, for anything that's going on, be more open-minded. Think down a rabbit hole, man. Don't just repeat things that you see. Clickbait, titles, articles, they're no good.
I don't repeat things which I say. Okay.
Do you say?
Right. You asked me if I could take anything away from this conversation.
I didn't, but
I wonder what it could be.
I'm an asshole.
No, that's what you were trying to get at. You know,
I got a suggestion. I got a suggestion, Jimmy. Yes. I got a suggestion on that, Jimmy, if you don't mind me making it.
Man, I give people the answer what someone asked me.
In this YouTube community, it would be a good idea if you looked into your belief systems and found the names of your belief systems so you could tell people.
I would like to give an answer without somebody talking over the top of me when I'm trying to give an answer.
If you would sum it down to at least 30 seconds instead of 30 minutes, we'd be great and we wouldn't have to. But go on ahead.
This is my belief, right? I've heard you all talk. You all believe in something. I knew that.
I know, Richard. If I did the exact same thing.
See? People just keep shouting every time I try to talk.
Jimmy. Hey, boss, listen. Everyone on the planet believes things they can't show.
I mean, there he goes again. He's torn over the top of me. I can never give my opinion because...
Richard, do the same as me. Just mute an icon for a minute.
Fuck's sake.
Jimmy, the floor is yours. Go on ahead, Jimmy. Everybody is muted but you. This time is all yours. Say whatever you need to.
Right. Okay. Wouldn't it be nice to think a thought that we are made of energy, right? Okay. And we started from energy. We started from the Big Bang, the stars. My thought is, when I die, I've got energy in my body. And wouldn't that be great for my energy to dissipate into the stars? And I could be a star in that shining sky, shining down on non-believers.
Non-believers of what? You don't believe in anything.
Yeah. I believe in science.
Richard.
By the way, I don't laugh for your little sort of immature laugh. I think that's rather immature. Thank you.
Richard, 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 Thank you. Thank you for describing me as immature. That was
Yeah, no
lovely to
problem.
talk to you. It was beautiful. Richard, would you like to talk about how
That's-
immature?
Wait, it's immature.
Immature.
See, trouble with accents. Richard, I think, is going to have a brain aneurysm if he doesn't actually say something. So, Richard, I feel like I'm running this, but Richard, go on ahead.
Just forgive me if I'm in the middle of a brain aneurysm right now.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm kind of having a tough time with some of the statements.
Higher thought.
I, I believe in science, but energy defeats gravity when gravitational lensing happens. And what should happen is you should get sucked into the core of the planet if you're an energy thing that's released.
Yeah, Kevin. Okay.
Okay. That's enough. I'll stop right there.
You got sucked in.
Richard, that was beautiful.
That's
That was
your
beautiful.
belief. You got sucked into the planet. All right. What a silly belief. You believe it. If you
said
think for one moment in time that you get sucked into the planet, wow. What a belief system you have. And I think that's rather crazy and sort of idiotic. Thank you.
That's called sarcasm, Jimmy.
Just no.
No, it's not sarcasm. I'll just give that professional sort of science guy his answer.
He's a professional. What?
I said
I
it's
think-
rather idiotic.
I think we've been more than generous. Jenny, you asked earlier, full of what? And what I meant by full, I mean full in capacitance. And the reason I would say it's full in capacitance, which is a comparative differential in energy transfer, is because it is traveling in both directions now. So, I mean, I can't say the Earth is fully charged because there's no goal, you know? But I can say that it's equalized compared to the amount of energy in outer space. It holds that amount.
And that's more coherent than anything Jimmy said all fucking night.
By
Now,
the
would
way,
that be,
Mr. Ginger guy, what
was that-
about the capacitor flux? Intuition with Back to the Future.
Okay, I think I think what's really good is that I'm gonna ask Jimmy a question, and then if anyone else wants to
Yes.
ask him one after that, but I think we're done.
You
with Jimmy.
can all
Are we
ask
done with Jimmy?
all the
Are we done with
questions
Jimmy?
you wish.
Are we done with Jimmy? Done with Jimmy. Jimmy,
Yes.
what do you use as a hangover cure?
I normally don't get hangovers when I'm drinking. I wake up okay in the morning.
Do
I
you?
have my Weetabix and banana when I wake up and I feel rather good. What do? Do you sit there and mommy comes to your bedroom and says,
He goes
I've been just to point out,
you like
Jimmy,
breakfast?
just before you go any further, I have been out on my own since I'm 18. I own my own house. I'm just about to hopefully make close to 5 digits in a profit. I also work close to 50
Nice,
hours a week and
nice.
have 2 cars, a daughter I support, and
well,
I
I-
fucked your mum. So we'll go with that.
I've had my own apartment since I was 17.
That's about the immaturity of this level of conversation that we're having with Jimmy now. Like, you know, it's like
Yeah.
your mama's so
Oh,
fat,
yeah.
her belt size is called a queer.
He
Oh,
did
like,
say he
you know.
fucked my mummy. And that's,
Can I be really honest? I mean, I've tried to be upfront and honest this
let's
whole
get
time,
back
Jimmy.
to a nice conversation.
Jimmy, if you don't mind me saying so, look, boss, you tell us you're 58 years old. That's passable. It looks like you could be. That's fine. But you entered into the conversation, immediately switched the topic over 5 other people talking, right? And then every time we tried to pick it back up and include you, you kept us from including you and you blackballed yourself. Now
That's
you're
the point.
complaining that we're all against, hold on. Now you're complaining that we're all against you teamed up. Boss, quit being a victim when you're the perpetrator. Okay?
I'm not a victim.
So-
I have
So
been
don't
listening
claim.
to every
I'm
word
sorry.
you were
I'm
saying.
sorry. I'm sorry. So don't claim
Now
victim
he's gonna
status.
give
when-
some dumb
I'm
excuse.
sorry. So
Or
please
someone
don't come
accuse me
on here
of
and
this.
claim victim status
what he
when you're
wants.
the aggressor, Jimmy. Please don't come on and claim victim status when you're the aggressor doing it on purpose.
I've
Okay.
been listening
Now,
to every word
Having
you
said that, if you would just join the conversation, everyone would really enjoy you. You could express yourself. You could share your actual thoughts, not tropes from news headlines, and everybody might like talking to you.
Okay, then I will share my thoughts with people, and I will be quiet. Thank you.
Sarcastic, you're welcome.
Why
I was
is
being
everybody
genuine with you,
trying to
Jimmy.
Make me out to be the bad one.
See, there you go,
Nobody's
being the
making
victim
you-
again when you started
Yeah.
it.
I'm the victim.
Wouldn't you love to get him in a room with Stool?
Oh, this would be stupid.
I mean,
If
come
you
on.
like
Yes,
being a
and then
victim,
lock 'em
hey,
up and throw
Stool's your
away the
guy.
I know
key.
what a
Jimmy.
victim is. You're all trying to point me in being a victim. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
we're
No,
bad people.
you're putting yourself in that position.
I'm
You're
sorry for being
literally,
a
that's what
victim,
you're
everybody.
saying. And while they've been
Richard's
trying
the
to do is
nastiest
have a
person you
little
will ever
fun.
meet, and he
Math pig.
secretly kills
Math
people
pig.
at night. Little homeless
By the
kids.
way, I
Math
and
would
stuff.
pig.
He's
appear
so
if
evil.
I just stayed silent just for like 10 minutes.
I'm going to kick everybody in a fucking second. I've let y'all talk. Thank you. No, you put yourself in that position, Jimmy, because you were sitting there literally saying that we're like you're our victim. They were trying to joke around with you, establish a good rapport, and then bring you into the conversation. But you're
Yeah, but I've never been
you're
a victim.
going over here and over here and over there. So, I mean, if you don't want to be part of it, you can just listen too. I don't care.
I'm
But-
just trying to have a conversation with people. Let's have a conversation with me. Anyways, lady, I'm just gonna go with a P. I need to go with a P. I don't want to say I'm going with a piss because I find it rather rude.
Do you?
So, can
It
I
doesn't
give
matter
a
either way. You
P?
could just say, "I'll be right back." That's good.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm just having a P.
I don't think you will.
You do that then.
Let's see this.
One,
Careful
Go
now.
on, go on,
two,
Joey.
Three,
Go on, Joey.
four.
Attempt number 2. I can feel it.
Oh no,
God,
he's
you
got
good
it. By
He's got
George, I think he's got it.
All right.
Oh,
I got $1 on him standing.
I'm giving that a 5.
I don't
I
want.
got $1 that he fell down directly as soon as he got out of camera range.
Okay,
the
so
door's
like,
open.
Okay, so
am,
Jenny, does that make sense to you with the earth charge and the lightning thing? And that? I mean, I know you have a super mechanical mind. Oh, it's Ogre.
Hello.
Ogre, you're just back in time for him to walk back into the room, forgetting to put his trousers back on.
I'll be right back.
Ooh,
It's
that was
raining.
nice.
I gotta close shit up.
Okay.
Well, Richard, I disagree with the basic premise, but within the, if I accept the premise, then yes, your explanation makes perfect sense.
What's wrong with the premise, if you don't mind me asking, or if you don't want to explain it, that's cool.
I think it's a little silly to think that the Earth is a capacitor.
Okay, what else causes the induction of a charge?
Ooh, we're talking science. Ooh, I want to play.
Well,
Until fucking Jimmy comes back, and then we'll be talking fucking gear channel.
magnetic or magnetic coils and stuff like that can cause induction.
Okay, what about a magnetic coil causes an induction?
Electricity passing through it.
Which is, that would be a charge, right?
No. A charge tends to imply that it's a stored force.
Okay. So energy passing through it, causing an electromagnetic field, induces. Actually, it doesn't induce. If you run electricity through it, it creates. So that's if I think about it like a welder, like an old Lincoln buzz box, where I have coils on the outside and I have a coil in the middle, right? And that's going to translate from AC into DC voltage so that I can weld with it without it just being insane. What I've got is energy going through coils, transferring by EMF into other conductors, also in coils, and then those connected to the leads, right? So the whole point is there's an energetic differential, and it wants to be evened out. It wants to be balanced.
But that's
So
the
when I
difference-
said that
Go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
That's a different form of electricity.
A different form of electricity. I'm listening.
Well, lightning, and what you seem to be talking about with the Earth charge sounds a lot more like static electricity.
What's
versus
static
AC.
electricity manifest as?
Lightning.
What kind
Spark?
of electricity? What kind of energy is it?
I don't know what you mean by that.
It's direct current. It's DC voltage. It's not a
Okay.
different kind. There's no different kind. Everything's AC and DC as far as we know.
I have never heard static electricity described as a DC current.
Try using a balloon and a meter.
Jenny, do you know the difference between DC and AC?
Yes.
Could you say it in a few words?
One is a sine wave. One is a constant, a flat line.
Well, in reference to the flow of charge, what's the difference?
AC goes back and forth across the
Correct.
0 point to positive and negative,
And was DC?
alternating. It stays on one side of it.
Hold on just a second. I have a definition for you. Static electricity is a buildup of an electrical charge on the surface of an object. It is considered static due to the fact that there is no current flowing as in AC or DC electricity.
Yes.
Unless
when
there's a
discharges,
discharge.
As
Right.
Richard was saying, when it discharges, it flows in one direction. Therefore,
Right.
it's DC.
Direct current, right.
Yes.
Right.
So lightning
Hey
and
there,
all that,
Cynthia.
you can consider that DC. That'd be a correct statement.
Oh!
What
I
happened?
just like
what
the
happened?
rock band.
He made it back.
He made it back.
So,
Hello.
Orge, do you see anything wrong with saying in order that the planet or any planet, this planet, has sprites going through the upper stratosphere, condensing into clouds, forming lightning, striking the Earth, that there must be a differential between space and the planet?
Does Earth exist as an
How-
Earth?
Well,
how
the
else-
clouds are inside of Earth. The clouds aren't in space.
I mean, the planet itself. Yeah.
oh, so
I mean-
you're saying atmosphere and
Yeah.
Terra, essentially.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's what lightning is, right? That's
And
a
then if
differential.
I
yeah.
see it traveling the other direction, going off the Earth into the cloud bank and out through sprites and into outer space in the opposite direction, would it be safe to assume then that there is no, there's slight differentials, but there's not a great differential where one thing has much more energy than the other?
Well, any amount of differential once you breach the what's that dielectric constant of the Earth, any of the medium, any amount of differential will cause that movement. Yeah.
Would you talk about this term dielectric something or another of the Earth?
I
Would you
think that's
talk
the
about that?
term. It's basically how much energy needs to exist for the charge to move across the medium. Water, air, human skin.
So we
metal, what
have a term describing the charge of the planet.
Yeah.
The
By the
planet,
way,
I guess.
fuck
Sure,
that.
yeah. Everything has this
Yeah, we do.
constant.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you're gonna call the Earth a capacitor, you have to tell me what kind of capacitor
I
it is.
reckon one of you guys need to have a conversation about Mr. Tesla.
Hold on just a second, everybody. Randy was trying to talk. Go
The,
ahead, Randy.
the lunatic. We have to talk about him.
No,
Okay.
he was not a
the difference-
lunatic.
Here's
Tesla.
here's
Please,
hey,
the
Jimmy,
conversation's
not about you. Let me talk.
I'm just
I
gonna
will
start
take
kicking
my
people.
bald head and shine you right to fucking death with a flashlight. I
Thank
swear
you,
to
Randy.
God.
Go ahead.
Okay, the thing of it is with space, between the difference with space and Earth, the Earth has a magnetic field around it, and space has constant radiation that is energized. So when they come into contact, or if they're just surrounding each other, either way, they are both their own energized factors that operate in each in their own separate ways, but are yet somehow connected. As far as my understanding, I could be wrong.
If you have electricity or a lightning bolt going between a cloud and space, that would tend to describe that space is the negative, that it's the ground, because the cloud charges in a positive way and it releases to a negative source, which is the Earth, and in this case, as we're talking, space.
Well, I think you have that backwards. Electrons move from negative to positive because they are negative.
Well, yes, that's correct.
There you
So it's coming from space to the cloud, or from Earth to the cloud.
No wonder the American government didn't want to know Mr. Tesla because he had too much information. Tesla was the first guy who could have invented Wi-Fi. And that was years ago before the internet.
Jimmy, right? I'm going to ask you, I'm going to delve, if I can, just for 1 wee minute, and then I'll go back to the two of you. Tesla invented Wi-Fi, or
could have. I didn't see it.
Please let me finish. Or did he build a big fuck off wooden tower that just transferred some electric through the fucking ground? Right? Which one actually did fucking happen?
Yes, it did.
Yes, it did. That's a wonderful answer. Thank you for your citation.
And by the way, Tesla could have been a really good inventor if it weren't for the American government who stopped him in his tracks.
The only thing that Tesla ever invented was AC as the power source for electricity generation in the cities and things like that. Over Edison's DC, which was foolish to begin with.
Oh, I was going to make a really.
Jenny is correct on that one.
Everything else,
the radio waves, all that other shit. That was some other Italian dude.
We used to
everything else that Nikola Tesla failed to prove or to finish inventing was because of his own lack of sanity.
No. Let me tell you something about Tesla. Some of
he
his
read this in the Sun newspaper. All right, let him say he read it in the Sun newspaper.
We all use some of Tesla's inventions, which he made back then, and we use them now. You use them now on your computer.
Right, give me 3 examples, please, Jimmy. 3 examples. Jimmy, if you can give me 3 examples of inventions that Tesla invented way back in the day that Khalil, run, man. Don't even run.
Electricity, Wi-Fi, and knowledge about electricity.
Run.
No, I am right.
No. You're definitely right. I'm just trying to give some. I'm trying to. Oh man, just run.
This is why we have proper electricity today, because of people like Tesla, who was a great inventor, and the American government tried to shut him up.
Well, you'd have to give me a whole bunch of citations on that one.
Well, number one, Wi-Fi wasn't invented by Tesla.
Wi-Fi was invented by Tesla because Tesla tried to send electricity over 2 waves. So a wave is Wi-Fi. Do you know what a Wi-Fi wave is? It's that exactly. Where you're trying to send one part of something to another part.
Yes, that is me. It's trying to randomly make a connection between one thing and another. That's definitely me, Jimmy.
Wi-Fi is nothing more
than the argument. But Tesla was a man who really invented Wi-Fi before the internet came around.
Wi-Fi is nothing more than a different form of radio transmission.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but has Jimmy just said the same sentence like 6 times over and over?
Yeah, he does that a lot.
Ogre, have you not been here for the last hour?
No, I decided to have a life for the last hour that I came in here. And
oh no, we were having a wonderful conversation.
Hey Jimmy, wait! Everybody, wait!
I apologize for being brainy and sort of a very brainy person.
Jimmy, everybody, shh a bit. I'm going to be totally honest with you, Jimmy, and nice about this, but I really think you've been drinking a lot, and you should probably go to bed. Just saying.
Another 20 minutes. I'm going to bed in 20 minutes.
Don't send me to bed
because because you
Because
keep talking
you're
over
the-
everybody,
yeah,
you
I've
keep
been
repeating what you're saying. We want to have a good conversation. You keep segueing, blah 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 blah.
Why is the rum always gone?
So instead of me having to like, you know,
Oh, that's why.
why don't you just go
This
ahead
is
and go to
where
bed?
they want to get rid of me, ladies and gentlemen.
Another 20
All right.
minutes. Be
Yeah,
able
I
to go to
kind
bed
of
in
want the
15
conversation
minutes.
to flow better, honestly.
Can I have some fun? Can I have some fun?
You have 2 minutes.
Oh, is
Big.
that all you're giving me? Oh, damn it. Right. Let me see. Right. You live in England, yeah? Jimmy.
I don't talk to people who want to get rid of me. So, fuck you.
I am actually trying to keep you here for another 20 minutes if you'd have been
I
listening.
do live in England, but don't ask the common demonator. Okay?
The
Don't
monitor.
ask
Motivator?
the question.
Well, no, people don't. Right.
Hi, do you live in England? I mean, come on now. How geography can you get from that?
What did he just say?
For the
Rock-
He didn't ask you what block you lived on. He just asked
Could
what
be
country.
like
Yeah,
me.
he tried to say
You
that.
live
If you
in
haven't
America?
noticed, Jimmy, since you mentioned that you lived in Newcastle,
Oh God.
4 other people have joined the stream.
I
that
mean,
don't know
come
where you're
on
from.
now.
Oh, okay. thank
Please, everybody, give me a break. I'm not drunk.
Okay,
lovely
so
friend.
let me
And
just
I-
say,
I wouldn't
let me just
talk.
let me
No,
just
no,
say, let me just
I
say,
will not talk.
let
I'll
me just
everybody
say,
talk.
all right, bye, dude.
Love
Let me
you.
just say that, yeah, I'm just
He's
done. He's
not as-
talked over
he's-
me like 5 times. I've been way more patient with him than I do with anybody, and everybody here knows that. So
He's not as think as you drunky is.
I'm just,
He's
I'm just-
absolutely. He has. He has no.
I just
idea.
kicked him. I'm done. I kicked him all the way out.
Oh, he just
Anyways.
rejoined. Did you ban or kick? Did you ban or kick? Because he just rejoined. He's that.
No,
fucking
no.
drunk.
It's fine. I don't have to bring him in. I don't get. He can sit in the basement and listen and talk to himself all he wants.
Oh,
I'll ban him if he comes back. It's fine. I'm hoping that maybe he'll be sober next time. We can have a conversation, which is
How
I'm
did he-
fine with.
I
But I'm
think-
not.
How does
No,
he
no,
get
no,
a
right,
lift
right.
to begin with?
Everybody here has heard this. I think overheard of Khalil. Then he believes that whenever you die, your energy goes up. And when I asked him if he died in Australia, does it make a difference? And he didn't know, but he agreed that the Earth was round. Yeah, it went down that route, man.
How did he get a link to begin with?
It's in the description. Anybody can join.
And he literally went and typed in live stream.
B, you're muted, just so you know.
I know.
Okay.
I put it up in the. I pinned it to the chat because normally people come in are all you guys. So I've never had anybody come in and been an asshole before. So
He said that he
that's
found
fine.
out
I mean, I
by
gave him a
going-
chance. He spoke to my brother before, so I let him stay in here, and I was trying to be.
I don't think he
respectful,
did. I
but-
think he was bullshitting. Richard didn't know, and then he did later admit that he went to YouTube and typed in live stream StreamYard and hit enter. And that's
I don't
how
know. He could have seen Richard anywhere, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm just not letting him back on until he's sober. You can come back. Once he's
Side
sober.
note before we continue, if next person that talks to Richard, I'd like to understand his Earth electricity theory more. So whoever talks to Richard again, tell him to hit me up.
I give you his email, his Discord, his Twitter.
I got his email, but I don't YouTube as often as I used to, so I'm gonna forget tomorrow.
Is what he was talking about part of the concept of the electric universe?
Yeah.
Probably. I've talked to him
Okay.
about that before and tried to dissuade him. So
Just so you guys know, Richard didn't leave. He just went to smoke. He's still in the
Oh.
basement. He's gonna be
oh
back.
sweet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I'd run
I thought
away
he was
from
running
him.
from me.
Well, I don't think he's
Oh,
running
big
from you,
scary
man.
guy.
He literally looked like he was fucking having an aneurysm in the middle of like a 5-minute rant of fucking Jimmy talking about energy and space and how it returns to this. And it was, I'm a total atheist and this, that, and the other. And energy goes up and the earth is round. And it was, yeah. He's not running from you. He's running from
Matt,
the
figure
madness.
you like eating out of a bag of chips or something, man? Because that's really like cutting into your speaking.
That's not, no, that's
It's
not
like-
me. I'm mute. That's not me.
That's me.
Oh, damn it, Jenny.
Told her we're headphones
Hey,
about 45 minutes ago.
It's time for my medications, and I've been using a headphone for over an hour.
Hello, secular pagan mum.
She just said
Goodbye,
she's gonna
secular
go,
pagan
go, go.
mum.
Don't go yet. Big hugs out to Secular Pagan Mum. Lots of love going out over the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Needs the hugs.
Oh, I
Needs
love
the hugs.
SPM. Always welcome here. Anyways, see how much like quiet and calmer it is now. So
not as
Khalil,
Not as
how
much
the hell
fun
you
now.
doing?
Yeah,
I'm fantastic. I wouldn't talk
I
to me
am.
because it might
No,
not.
go ahead,
Go ahead,
Khalil.
harmonica man.
I love how he put that. I might not
No,
talk.
no, no, no.
into it
You go ahead. You're new to the stream. We want to hear from you now. I've spoken just about enough and laughed my
No,
ass off while doing so.
A lot.
No, I was gonna say I'm doing fantastic, B. Thank you once again for having me on, and I wouldn't have me talk because it might get loud again.
Oh, do it.
I mean, I already have my brother in here. Come on.
It's not gonna actually not make sense though.
Hey man, if you can say more than 3 distinct sentences in the conversation, I think that would go swimmingly. So
It took him 4 goes to get out of the toilet to go. It took him 4 goes to get out of the chair to go to the toilet.
We
were all
counted him.
going, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, he did one of these like.
Oh, I do that too. It's because I have bad knees.
Well, yeah, but yeah, well, I mean, maybe he does. He's an older dude, and I mean, I'm not really trying to pick on him like that, but I just think he had too much to drink,
He did
and he's
admit now, if
he's
we can
repeat
say, he
he's
admitted
repeating
that he was
himself,
58.
and I just can't.
He
I
admitted
can't
that he
stand
was
that shit.
58. He admitted that he was 58 and that he had never thought about the idea of up on a round Earth before. He did admit that.
Of what?
The idea of what we made fun of earlier, if you die in Australia and you go up. He
I
never
was
thought
I was
before.
trying to get him to bite on me teasing him because he's so old.
Poor Jimmy.
You guys, I swear to God.
This
So
is
what's
your fault.
okay? So
The
so
energy
Khalil,
expands outward like fire.
you're the most recent one in here. Give us something. What's on your mind?
I'm studying and writing notes for my debate coming up this Saturday. I'm going to
When,
be-
where, who?
If it's on modern day debate, I'm storming out of here.
No. It's actually going to be
Thank
on
God.
a guy. Math Pig, do you remember James Gibson?
Is he got a moniker?
You
You would
may,
be the empathetic atheist if you understand what I mean. You know how
well,
you got
no,
a moniker?
no. You may know him as he's has 2. Right now, it's James is tired, or
Yes,
the
I know James is tired.
Everybody knows James is tired.
Okay, yeah, it's going to be on his channel on Saturday. I'm debating Math Pig. You may know this name, John Lee. I'm debating him on the Atonement.
Is that the guy whose thumbnail is always a green T-shirt?
He doesn't show his face, and he just
Right, I'm thinking of a different person.
goes after atheists all day long. In like,
But then I
Facebook.
probably don't know him. I ignore them sort of people.
Yeah, so I told him to focus on other theists a little bit more. So we're gonna be debating the Atonement on Saturday.
Do a tweet. Do a tweet. Tag me.
Okay.
Do a tweet.
Okay.
If I
Cool.
tweet, Dave's automatic account tweets, and Dave's got like 20,000, 30,000 followers or something. So
Oh, cool.
tweet with a tweet and the tweet.
Because it should be fun.
No, I don't know. I want to have more discussions on the channel, but I don't want to have debates on the channel. I think we
Right.
sort of touched on this, Khalil. And again, with your time zone and my
Mm-hmm.
time zone, it's fucking 4:30 here. Like, but
Yeah.
formal
Yeah.
discussions, opening and closing statements, have an hour back and forth where people take charge of the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and then round up with a wee bit at the end and some questions. You know, the idea of a debate, I always find is the word debate just means one side against the other. You know, I know it doesn't mean that. You get what I mean? It's
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. So why does it have to be like that? Why can't it just be two people that have differing opinions having a good discussion?
the last
Yeah,
three
yeah, so
sort of-
Everybody
we're-
lives off of those dumpster fires, man. They're just waiting for the fire
Yeah,
to start,
no,
so
I'm
everybody
not-
clumps in and they make money.
See,
And I'm
that's
not
the
about
main
that
thing.
shit.
I have a problem with that as well. You know, it's the wordage
Agreed.
and things like that. There's a few people around, and I've seen them, and they're like, there was a channel the other day that was talking about women in atheism, and they put Mrs. Darth Dawkins in the fucking title, along with female atheism, and it's like that is just clickbait algorithm. You're just looking for tags. You're just it's looking for attention. It's you're trying to get these people come in. Evolution False turned up on a live stream that I had the other day and hung about for all of 20 minutes because we refused to give him attention. I wouldn't time him out, and anytime someone talked about him, we called him asshole 104. So he he got no attention. He's there to get attention. He's there to be. He's a fucking narcissistic motherfucker. Like, but if you don't give the person the attention, they leave. And yeah, people don't watch that sort of shit. People want dumpster fires.
Yeah, and that's why it's hard when you have when your channel is veered more towards academics. You don't get as many views and subscribers and followers as you want to, because a lot of the times either you're in such a nuanced subject that not a lot of people are going to not a lot of people are going to understand, and their eyes are going to glaze over. They're going to get bored with the content, and they're going to go over to the Raging Atheist channel and listen to people scream at each other.
But they're not even getting that anymore because people won't come on to have them conversations because that's all it is.
Yeah, that's why I've dug more into studies, and when I learn more and I'm much more comfortable, I'm going to be reaching out to academics, PhDs who have papers on academia.com and having conversations with them, because I know the discussion will be professional.
Right. Absolutely.
I
don't even mind if people get a little like snippy with each other. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
As long as nobody yells and is disrespectful and is being mean, because people will come in the chats and they're being dickheads, man. And I don't want any of that negativity crap. I want everybody to like Cynthia said, civil discourse. There's nothing wrong with a totally look what we have in here. Like half of us don't even agree with the other quarter or whatever. So, but we can all sit here and have a good discussion.
I was at least an asshole there for an hour. Poor Jimmy. I do, poor Jimmy.
Well, you kind of were an asshole, but he was kind of being an asshole as soon as he walked in. He didn't even say hi to me to begin with, and that kind of pissed me off because when somebody lets me in, I always say, "Hey, thanks for letting me join." It's
and then he
fucking respect.
Half the fucking panel for not having cameras on.
Yeah, and then he thought it was your stream.
Well, that's because
Well, he didn't even give me a chance to talk, so I just sat there and fucking like this, like, go ahead, dude.
Welcome back anytime, Jimmy. Welcome back.
Yeah, as soon as he's sober, he can come back. Absolutely.
I don't think he does it unless he isn't sober.
It's Newcastle. It's 4:30 in the morning for him.
Probably. Yep. So, do you know him, Richard, or not?
I wouldn't say I know him. I spoke to him a little bit before. He was the same as he was tonight.
Okay.
So coherent, intelligent.
Maybe that's why he's got all the viewers, because he's, people like laughing at stupid.
That's why I asked him, was he recording?
He's got a great setup in there.
Yeah,
I've got
Alex
a
is over here in the chat going,
question that I'd like to have answered.
Go ahead.
Okay. What do you guys think of heat death and the speeding up of the universe spreading? Now, Steve, before you answer,
Richard was going to be like, "Yep."
Now, in quantum computing, they cool the wires down and everything because the atoms, instead of being all rigid and exchanging electrons, they kind of all flatten out, and the electrons kind of just flow between them, and they go faster the colder it gets.
Less friction.
So why wouldn't that work with the rest of the universe? So far as, it's not a wire, but it might have the surface tension on top of, the anti-gravity or whatever that is. I'm going to
leave that up to Richard. And
why wouldn't the same principle work in the heat death of the universe and the speeding up of the spreading of it?
Well, in quantum computing, they're cooling the damn thing down. It's atoms do all kinds of weird things when you get them that cold, most of which I don't know about. But one of the things that I've definitely heard them discuss is how they can get one atom to slow down to almost imperceptible movement when they cool it just so.
So there's like three things there, Randy, as far as I could tell. Yes, it's true that in certain conductive materials or semiconductors, if they're lowered to a certain temperature, they align and there's less resistance. Like, wow, almost no resistance, which is pretty cool. As far as the cosmos, I won't say the known universe. I'll refer to the cosmos because I can't answer to what you've just said, speaking only of the known universe. We see things moving and shift toward red shift or blue shift. We see things moving, but we can't see very far. Trees, like for instance, like trees in a forest, if they were all planted exactly 20 feet apart, and this is only for an example, all analogies fail, I understand that. But if you're far enough away and there's enough trees overlapping themselves from the angle you're at, eventually it looks like a solid mass. And that's what we're faced with in outer space. So we see a small pocket of the cosmos that is expanding and apparently is speeding up in its expansion. Now, that's a very, very small percentage of the total proposed cosmos that we can't see. And I don't know about you, but I find like percentages persuasive. And when I see a percentage of a something, I want it to be a greater than 50% before I'm persuaded. Since we do not see 50% of the proposed cosmos, I am unconvinced. I'm convinced that there's a pocket of space that we can see that is red shifted, blue shifted, is moving. I'm fine with that. That doesn't prove a damned thing. When we start extrapolating it out to everything that is possible, it means almost nothing. As far as energy transfer throughout space and the coldness of space, the cosmic web is literally energy transfer that looks very much like, I don't know, blood vessels in a bone or something like that. And it follows all of these phi angles and in nature what energy transfers normally do. And that's what when we look at the quote unquote cosmic web, that's what we're looking at. So does that happen, and does it happen easier over greater distance in semi-vacuums where it's cold? Well, apparently, yeah, it does.
Okay.
Real quick, I just want to say somebody's got an echo, and I don't know who it is.
I think I'm going to bow out and let you guys chat. I got to go.
Well, I
outside.
appreciate you, Randy. You don't have to leave, but yeah, I appreciate you, buddy. And I always appreciate your humor. And sometimes you actually come up with some shit that I had no idea that you knew. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Like, well, for instance, are orphans allowed in family restaurants?
Get out of here. I will kick you.
All right. I'll see
Fucking
you guys
asshole.
later.
Okay, good to see you, Randy.
Bye, Randy. He put that in the chat earlier, and I just refused to put it up. Oh. Anyways. Carry on.
I'm still wondering what I said wrong about limestone. If
Oh,
Jorge
you want to get
remembers
into that?
Did it come back to you?
I believe you're talking about chalk being pure and not being able to, like, having to be Noah's flood or something.
No,
Like
no way. No way.
That's why I yelled it. That's why I was wanting to yell at you.
No.
Something yucky.
Using the definitions given for the word waters should be capitalized, meaning a large group of people. Okay. And since there's a definition, I should use it where applicable. So I don't believe that the flood of Noah meaning the one who gives rest and or God, because God's the one who gives rest in this story, that the flood of Noah is a large group of people who will be given rest. Very coherent within the entirety of the story. But it means us. It doesn't mean H2O. As for
I
the
remember
chalk
your
beds,
version.
as for the chalk beds of Dover and stuff like that, there was apparently a very large precipitation of small crustacea within the oceans at some point, which to me says probably a huge change in atmosphere, maybe acidity of the ocean, something like that. And I didn't say it was pure. I said it was too pure to be 10 millimeters per year in the deeper parts of the ocean. There's just not enough silt and crap and fish poop in it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying it must have been sudden. That's all I
said.
said. It must have been sudden is all I said.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to yell at you about. We don't have to do this now, by the way. But yeah, your idea of too pure, kind of, I have an issue with that because how do you define too pure? Right? What are you comparing it against? And we do see, quote unquote, those purity levels with modern limestone deposits, such as the Bahamas. So
okay, that's fine, but then that kind of purity level just suggests a sudden event of some kind, is what I'm saying. Because okay, let's take the opposite. You have fish in the sea, you have birds that fly over the sea, you have seeds carried, you have droppings, feces. You have sedimentation. You have localized floods causing sediments from the landmass being brought into the body of water. You have storms that can do crazy things. When I say it's too pure, what I'm trying to say is it's more than the normal level of purity. For instance, if you go to any sedimentary set of sedimentary layers, you'll see large places where there's like basically all the same material for great thicknesses, comparatively speaking. And then you'll see other places where there's many layers that are mixed and of different kinds of sediments. Okay. So let's say I'm comparing like shale or something like shale to something like a limestone bed, So that's what I mean by too pure. Not that I'm saying it's 100% one-celled animal shells in the chalk beds. I'm not trying to say that.
So few points I had. You said like 4 or 5 different points there. So I'll try to respond just to your last one because it's most recent. The Cliffs of Dover that you're referencing are not really that unique in size for a sedimentary deposit that is uniform if you look throughout the world. Yeah, you can find shale deposits that are very small. You can also find shale deposits that are the size of states in America. Right. So its uniqueness is that it's unique because it's a tourist attraction, not necessarily because it's super unique. Like Grand Canyon, there's bigger canyons in the world, but Grand Canyon's really famous. That's why everyone knows Grand Canyon. Right. So
Benny, thank you very much for having me on. I'm going to bounce, go make something to eat and head to bed. All right.
All right, buddy. Thank you for coming. Love you, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Goodbye, Matt Pig.
Restville.
So yeah, again, I don't want to, this doesn't need to be a geology conversation. If, I'm good with whatever, but yeah. So like your points kind of, I wonder where the verification is for your arguments. Cause it kind of sounds like you're just saying your opinion more so than an actual like,
oh, I'm not trying to provide citation. I am saying that I feel that compared to most things I've seen,
yes,
that it is not broken up into many dirty layers and seems to be very continuous. So it must have been some kind of sudden deposit.
Yes,
relatively sudden.
I would respond to that with there are many examples. You can find layers throughout the world that are just that thick and that are just that uniform.
Sure.
So
I only mentioned the chalk cliffs of Dover because they are famous.
Yes. So if the size of them indicates quick deposition, are you saying that all these other ones at various layers of geologic column also have that same quick deposition?
Yeah, sure. I would think so.
So what if, but these don't align on the time scale?
What do you mean by
you have lots and lots of little spots of quick deposition?
Sure. What's wrong with that?
Well, I'm trying to get your baseline here.
Okay.
So,
I don't think they were simultaneous. They're not even all the same kinds of deposits.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. So my second issue with your statement is this idea that non-chalk particulate would somehow be stored in the layer as it's deposited. The process going from sediment or loose material to sedimentary rock or solidified material is a long process involving compaction, involving lots and lots of time, right? It's not just that the particulate, the microfossils, as you say, fall down and then chalk starts forming at the bottom, right? This stuff originally precipitates out as sort of a white sand.
Sure.
And what happens with sand? Things go in, things come out, things get flushed around, animals come and pick up the pieces, particulate floats away. Over time, it's going to get deeper and deeper and deeper, and most of that stuff's going to be washed out by the natural filtration of the water. So you're going to have some cleaning property in that natural filtration. Secondly, the compaction process is going to basically squish out, without your ability to see, a lot of that particulate that would be left, your animal carcasses and what have you. The amount of energy and the amount of heat it takes to squish microfossils down into chalk is intense, a lot more intense than like bone matter would survive in any way that you'd expect to see it. Fossils are very rare for a reason.
Yes. Okay. So in the case of the Cliffs of Dover, it looks to me, and I haven't looked at all of it, and I haven't been there to do a dig. I'm sorry. So I'm going basically off of what I can see and just making observations about what is observably there in gross anatomy of the cliffs.
Yes.
That it looks like there's a relatively thin layer of dirt on top of it, but yet it's compacted chalk. So then I would think that it was under a great ocean at some point. You'd agree with that?
No, not great ocean, shallow ocean.
A shallow ocean. So
Yes.
what's shallow ocean mean?
Think of the Bahamas. Think of the East Indies and the, below Florida.
So it doesn't take that much to compact those kinds of fossils into chalk.
The deposition requires that calm, shallow, warm ocean. Warm for the creatures to amass.
Sure.
Shallow for them to not really have to fight a lot of other stuff, and calm because these things just need to settle down over time, right? So
calm, I don't know. I don't know if it's settled down over time. We haven't really established. I mean, I see your principle.
Well, in modern terms, the modern limestone deposits are calm.
Okay.
That's
the finer the particle size, the calmer the water has to be for them to settle to the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, precipitation, of course. Yeah.
You have all those components, right? So I can only base geology, presence the key of the past. I have to base ancient chalk deposits on modern chalk deposits.
So
we have chalk forming.
The reason.
What? Sorry.
So we have a slight delay, and I apologize if it's on my end, and it might be. So the entire idea behind me saying this at all, or even talking about this, is I think there were changes in atmosphere or in, I don't know, ocean acidity due to carbon dioxide, whatever. I think there was some pretty rapid changes at some points.
Yes.
Okay.
I question your terminology of rapid necessarily, because there were changes. I'm going to agree with that.
Well, by rapid, I mean more rapid than it seems popular science is, which is known by people. I think the general public have a tendency to accept a more uniform past than is really evidently shown.
Sure. So would you disagree with this sentence? The White Cliffs of Dover formed in basically the same method as the limestone in the Bahamas is being formed now.
I don't know very much about limestone in the Bahamas.
Well, take my word for it. There's limestone. There's chalk actively being formed in the Bahamas right now.
No, I'm sure there is.
So the environment of the Bahamas now is what the White Cliffs of Dover was when the White Cliffs of Dover were formed.
Okay, when you say the waters in the Bahamas and fairly shallow, and so it make for a good environment for that sort of a critter.
Yes,
and that makes sense to me. Warm water, fairly shallow. The waters there, you're talking about waters less than 2 miles deep.
I believe so. Sure. Yeah. I don't know the exact measurement.
So we need, and I'm not saying there's something wrong with this, but now we require a sinking ocean bottom that was shallow in order to build something that is as thick as, say, the cliffs of Dover.
You don't need a sinking ocean. You need a new ocean. The idea at the time of the White Cliffs of
Rising
Dover
waters, one of the
was that essentially, I think it was probably Pangea was separating out. And then as that separated out, you had the ocean form where Europe and France and stuff like that originally are currently located at the time back then.
Amateur question. Why don't we see the Cliffs of Dover in many locations on Earth?
That's for you, Orge.
Oh, me? Oh, I'm sorry. Because, again, the White Cliffs of Dover chalk beds of any substantial amount require specific, we believe require specific things to be in place. There's oceans all over the world, right? But you only really have chalk deposits being formed in these shallow, warm, calm environments such as the Bahamas. You don't have chalk being formed in the Pacific seaboard because the Pacific is cold and it's turbulent. There you're getting different deposits.
Right.
The same critters live in both places.
Actually, I think more to Jenny's question is that due to the tectonics and such, the shallow oceans like that don't tend to last as long on the geological scale. So we tend to have smaller chalk deposits all around the world, but we don't get them as massed up as that because it has to be something that remains a shallow sea for many more eons.
I might have misunderstood the question then. Sorry.
No, I was wondering why don't we see sites similar or identical to the White Cliffs of Dover in many different locations on the seashore of other continents and land masses. I have this goofy idea that the reason we see them there is that the particular trade currents of the ocean in that at that time was dragging this very light material that wouldn't settle out to one area where it was say caught by an even shallower area and began to accumulate, and then the pressure of that weight would push down so more can join in, and that's the sort of thing that's why we see it just in the Dover area, not commonly all over the world.
Something to keep in. I have no clue about ocean currents, but something to keep in mind is that the White Cliffs of Dover's current geographic location that long is not thought to be where it was sitting when the White Cliffs of Dover were formed. Like the cliffs have moved physically.
Agreed.
The tectonics,
you got the Atlantic plate or European plate and North American plate are separating in the middle.
I personally don't know anything about what the ocean currents would have been like when the cliffs of Dover were forming to say anything about your theory.
Well, also, while the Atlantic Ridge has opened up, pushing Europe and North America further apart, that Great Britain had been joined to Europe actually fairly recently time ago, but a separate shift actually pushed the islands of Great Britain out into the Atlantic a bit away from Europe.
Yeah, I can believe that. Yeah.
So the cliffs, to some degree, were formed as kind of a bulldozer effect as the island was being pushed against the flow of the rest of the ocean floor.
I guess I should also add, I'm just talking from a purely chalk deposit viewpoint here. I haven't actually studied the White Cliffs beyond like the perusal of Wikipedia. So I was kind of fighting that set. I was arguing with Richard, not about the Cliffs of Dover specifically, but more about his idea of how the uniformitarianism issue. I like to defend uniformitarianism. So
Well, I wasn't actually speaking to someone educated to your level when I said it. I was talking more generally to more a popular science kind of idea.
I know. I was in the
and
chat.
And I was speaking more in more general terms, but I still think it holds true that if it were, I mean, do we see that purity, which is not pure, but do we see that amount of purity in presently forming chalk?
Yes.
So you'd say that's average.
Yeah. Chalk is, well, I guess if you look at lots of pictures of the White Cliffs of Dover, they're not really that white.
Well, they're not white. No.
Chalk. I don't know about a purity scale of chalk necessarily, but when you get down and look at it, chalk can be pretty dirty. Chalk can have stuff in it. I'm sure the White Cliffs of Dover, I mean, you can look at pictures and you can see spots and chunks that are different shades, and
there are definitely striations, and you can see
exactly
horizontal striping. You can see that sort of thing.
Yep. And you go to a white sand beach and it's pure, it looks like pure white sand, right? But if you actually pick it up, you're going to find chunks of different material in it. So the White Cliffs of Dover are famous and they're big, but I don't think their quote unquote purity strikes them as super unique in terms of chalk deposits.
Okay, so I've reached the wave cuffs of my knowledge in this conversation with you, and I'm going to have to go and look into some things.
Yeah.
The entirety of the idea behind proposing this is that at least the Bible does claim that this planet was terraformed in stages. Okay. And part of that terraforming would have been dropping off a certain atmosphere and then adding to that later.
Yes.
Changing the atmosphere and dropping off the oceans. And I see some amount of evidence of great water flow in certain spots on the planet. And I also see evidence that I think can be shown must have been hypersonic winds, which we don't have a mechanism for hypersonic winds on the planet itself. So this is part of the overall overview.
Yeah. I love talking to you about this stuff. That we when you know more, we could dig into it more. I will draw your attention towards the geology section of the Wikipedia page on this, where the third paragraph details all the random crap found in the chalk in the Cliffs of Dover. So the idea of them being any amount of purity is, I think that third paragraph goes into the detail that might
I should have to
disrupt that theory.
And
I should have to do that.
I would like to just put out there that what I'm talking about comes from just a complete amateur who's never been educated and just likes to pull things out of her ass.
Well, that's not totally without value. I'll tell you what, some people are better at extrapolating things and some are worse. And I have to say, I'm not, cheesing up to you or whatever, but you seem pretty solid on most things.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind you pulling stuff out of your ass at all. I think it's nice.
Yeah, as far as my credentials, is pretty much mine ends with the high school diploma, and the rest of it is mostly the popular science magazines.
I failed Chem 100 twice.
Congratulations.
But yeah, Richard, I mean, I hope what I said and what's the term, elucidated or whatever, a bit on the subject, and I'll catch you again and
elucidated.
That's the pronunciation.
Elucidated.
Elucidated. Yeah. There we go. I think I'm using that word correctly.
Yeah, it gives me something to look at, and I'll have to look more before I have any further conversation about it with anyone as specific as you can be.
Sure, that works.
If that sounds reasonable.
I think we would also learn a whole lot more about the Cliffs of Dover if we studied Nikola Tesla a little more.
Oh, definitely.
He did invent
that back up. My God, because that has everything to do with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
he did.
sure.
He did build that really cool Tesla coil, though.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty goddamn cool.
No.
Oh yeah, Jenny.
I thought the Cliffs of Dover was a song. Like
it is.
That's all that I know about it. So that's why I've been quiet.
Just like Rocky Mountain High, Colorado by
Right,
John
yeah.
Denver is based on a real place too.
Behold, the cliffs of insanity.
Wow.
So, Khalil, are you not a fan of geology then? Do you not like that subject? You ran away and then came back when we were over.
Yeah, I like education, and I like sitting back and learning when I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So
Okay, good. I didn't want to.
Amen, brother. That's why I kept my mouth shut this whole time. I don't know shit.
humility and humbleness, I think, are virtues. And if I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to pretend like I am. So I'm going to sit back and learn.
Cool.
My daddy used to tell us it's better to be thought of a fool than to open your mouth and prove it.
Word.
Is that true, B? Is that what he said?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah. Actually, you did say that, but without the silly country accent.
The southern twang.
My daddy didn't have no silly country accent, but he moved us to somewhere where everyone did.
And then our mama said, "You will not speak like that." Actually, no, she said, I raise intelligent children. You will not speak like that. You will use proper grammar, and ain't a word."
Yes, it is.
And that's a quote.
It is in Middle English, though. So,
Well, it is now.
well, ain't was a word that preceded modern English.
No, I meant in the U.S., like put in Webster's. Now it's in there. When we were
Oh,
kids,
sure.
it wasn't in there because she made us look it up, and it did not exist in the dictionary.
Oh, really?
But yada
I
yada yada.
do
is
believe,
in there
yeah.
too. So
Yeah, because I know it was used in England a couple hundred years ago, so I would have been surprised it wasn't in Webster's.
Maybe she ripped the page out just so we wouldn't use it. I don't know. I could be wrong. No, I don't know. I could be
no, I
wrong.
remember that exercise. We did have to look it up. It was not a joke. Like,
Yeah.
she made us look it up for real.
It
That's
was
like-
actually, a few hundred years ago in England, it was actually considered part of the high class English.
Yeah, because
Oh, okay.
you're using a condensed form, and that's fancy.
It is fancy. It is. Actually, she did that to us every time. The first time our middle kind of ish brother came home and used the word faggot, she
Oh,
said,
boy.
"What does that mean?" And he said, "Well, I don't know. Where'd you learn that word? At school. So you don't know what it means? No, go look it up." So he looked it up, showed her the definition, and she said, "All right, write it down 100 times so next time you use it properly."
Damn.
She used to give us school assignments. She wasn't our teacher.
Well,
I mean, she was, but
now see, that
Yeah,
can
two
fail,
forms.
though, because how people are using it today is not necessarily going to be the same as the definition you'll find in the dictionary.
that's also
The
true.
point is that she wanted him to use the actual definition instead of using it as a slur.
Yeah. So, am
you're
I
gonna use
allowed
it, know what
to
it
bring
means.
up a new topic? Because I never get to see Khalil, and I have something to ask.
Yeah, no. First of all, go for it. Second of all,
Here we
Tubi,
go.
and yes, it is a bundle of sticks. I remember that clearly.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay, let me
True
put my
story.
notes away. All right, I'm all
Put
ears.
your notes away. I thought you'd be getting your notes out.
No, I was when I was listening to you guys talk about the Cliffs of Dover, I was writing my my opening statement up for my debate this Saturday. But
What's the
I'm
debate?
all ears. I'm debating a guy by the name of John Lee on the atonement.
On the atonement. And what's your
Mhm.
position?
My position is that his personal view of the atonement is incoherent, and he's going to argue that his personal model of the atonement is coherent.
You already know his opening statement?
I already know his model.
You already know his model.
He's a Calvinist, so he's going to hold to penal substitutionary atonement. He may or may not know what that is. I think like the terminology he holds. I know he holds the belief and can explain the belief, but like the nuanced terminology, I'm not sure if he knows. But he's a Calvinist, so he's going to hold to limited atonement, which means that Jesus died for some people's sins.
Right.
So,
I'm sure you're going to bring that up.
Cleo, you're not arguing your view. You're arguing that someone else's view is wrong.
Yes, I'm arguing that. So he proposed that he can hold a view of the of the atonement that is coherent and I rejected that, and I don't think that he can. So I'm having that debate with him, and then we are actually going to pick a topic, and I think he wants to talk about the Injil. It's going to be an Islamic topic on our next debate. So then I will be defending my worldview.
And what would Injil mean?
Okay, gotcha.
And Injil just means it's Arabic for gospel. So
Okay.
a lot of people think that the Injil means Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, or like a uncorrupted Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, because we believe that the Christians and Jews corrupted the text.
Right.
But it actually is an oral revelation. It's basically the gospel of Isa or gospel of Jesus. And we really don't have much documentation of it, but like you basically get a red letter Bible, and most of the stuff in there you can go with whenever Jesus is speaking.
Interesting. The book of Ecclesiastes is the book of the preacher. If I said biblically who the preacher is,
for me, the preacher would be any one of the prophets.
no, not a preacher, the preacher.
The preacher?
The preacher, as in like capital The, capital P.
Okay.
The preacher. In other words, all of that vanity stuff be Jesus talking about our time here.
Yeah.
That's what it would be.
Yeah, very well could
I mean,
be.
with that view. Okay, so I'll say again in public, I want to support you in your studies of Islam, not to destroy them, but to verify them.
Mm-hmm.
And we started, and you challenged me, and you said, and I'm only doing this here because you don't answer your dang emails.
I don't ever check my emails.
That might be why.
Yeah.
So I need you to link me a clean copy of the actual words in the Quran, but in English, untranslated. I'm having a lot of trouble finding that.
So you want
Hold on.
English?
Let me have you pause real quick. I just have a question. Does anybody know Hassan Piker? And I need to see a face before I let you on.
I've heard the name on Twitter. I don't know much about him. I don't recall it being a hostile mention, but I have seen the name on Twitter numerous times.
Okay, carry on. If you chose his face, I'll let him up. You can go back to icon before I put you on.
Cool. So I need a clean copy, untranslated, of the actual words. I'm having a lot of trouble finding that.
Yeah,
because I looked up. What was it? It was 54. It was Surah 54.
Okay.
That has the story you requested in it, and but there's so much hyperlinking. There's so much reference to other parts of the text that it's not information dense enough within one surah. So I need the previous and post surah as well, and I need all of those to be 53, 54, and 55 to all be untranslated in English. Because guess what? I don't read Arabic.
But that's my question. How do you not have it translated not translated in English?
Word for word, like saying, like if the original word were jinn, it would just read something like demon.
Okay.
Not telling me what a demon is supposed to be, but just a direct word for word.
Yeah.
No with and if of the none of that.
The best closest that I could probably get you is called the Clear Quran. It's called the Clear Quran, or the Bible, or not? No, the Study Quran. The Study Quran is another good one.
So you're looking for translation, not interpretation.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
it's
interpretation is a
hard
huge
because
problem.
there's some Arabic words that don't have an English equivalent.
Right. That's okay. There's about 1.5 to 2% of the words in the Bible that also didn't have an English equivalent, and they just made something up, which really annoys me.
Yeah. I see the question down there at the bottom. How old was Aisha? There are multiple different views on the age of Aisha. I personally hold to a view, which I have hadith to reference and back it up, that I believe that Aisha married the Prophet Muhammad when she was approximately 17 years old and consummated their marriage when she was approximately 20 years old. I do know that's a minority. The main view is that she was 6 when they got married and 9 when the consummation occurred.
I'm not
Cleo.
Islamic. The word. Sorry.
Can I ask a Cleo quick question, please? Why does it take so long to consummate the marriage? Is that a traditional thing, or because we have wedding night? So
yeah, there are 2 tests that are done. One of them is a physical test, and that physical test is to make sure that the girl is a woman and is menstruating, has started her cycles. And another is a psychological test to make sure that she is mature enough, responsible enough, fit to be a mother.
Also, because it's half of 7 years. Because the bride, the name Aisha means wife, which is why it's such a common word to be used at the time. But maybe, I haven't nailed this down completely, but I will assert for now and back up later that the word Aisha there means the bride. Talking about the bride of end times, talking about the bride of God, talking about the people. And it's talking about how the people are ignorant and by default innocent because they're ignorant. And the reason that the consummation takes 3.5 years is because that's when the signs of end times will happen. And the reason it's talking about them being a good mother and fully adult is because it's talking about bringing us into, I don't know, almost being caught up with the actual situation.
And the other is that Viagra had not been invented yet.
Good point.
Side question off of Cleo. For your argument, if you're correct in your argument that it was a 17 and 20, because she obviously at 17 is physically good. Well, we can easily assume that, I should say. Did the Prophet marry someone at 17 that wasn't psychologically ready to consummate, and then tested her for 3 years before consummating? Is that what you're saying?
Well, part of the interpretation doesn't mean that there was an actual marriage. It could have been that they got physically married and consummated at the same time, but there was a betrothment 3 years prior.
Oh,
this really helps my view. Thank you for that.
Makes sense. Thanks.
You see why I say that helps my view of it?
Were they doing so-called virginity tests then?
I guess that it's considered a physical test. Now, the ages and everything like that do not come up in the Quran. This is all hadith. This is all man's word of what the Prophet had stated. Now, there are hadith sciences that we use to look at chains of narration to show the validity of who the person was that said this, who heard him say that, were they of sound mind and soul, and basically they were trustworthy to be able to continue on with the narration. So we can go through hadith sciences, which is actually a college study. Is you can actually go to college for hadith sciences and learn the method of the narration chain going all the way back to the Prophet, peace be upon him. Which is one of the reasons why we think that it's a little bit stronger than claims of the Bible, like 500 people saw, the 500 saw the risen Jesus. Well, we don't have any documentation whatsoever that 500 people did in fact see that. We have no chains and narrations that would back it up in the same sense as Islam has.
Of course, you already know what I'm going to say to that.
Yeah. Stover, I've looked into it. I'm actually going to be having a show on my channel here soon with Sheikh Uthman, who has a master's degree in Hadith sciences, and also has another master's degree or PhD within a Hadith and Sunnah, and he actually holds the same view as I do.
May I ask a question about Islam?
Sure, I'll answer it to the best of my ability. Just know that I'm only
And-
3 months old into my Muslimage.
I guess I should preface by saying that this, I recognize that this is comes out of the bias of a 20th century North American knowledge base of the religion and stuff. But why does it seem that Islam or Muslim, and I don't know the correct word to use, is so interested in punishment as opposed to redemption?
So actually, compared to the Christian view, it's much more upon forgiveness and whatnot. So like if we look at punishment in Christianity, through the Christian teachings and the Christian worldviews that Richard loves to try and demolish, they believe in eternity in hell, that the wages of sin are death, that all sin are equal, and that basically we're lowly pieces of crap here that are deserving of hellfire for all of eternity. And if God just happens to show his grace and show his love to us, he might save some of us if we accept Jesus Christ as their representative. In Islam, I could never say anything like that. I don't know what religion you hold. I don't know what, I couldn't say anybody in this room, including myself, is going to either heaven or hell. The Islamic view is that on Judgment Day, once you have died and the world has ended and you go to Judgment Day, you will be judged by the type of person that you were. You will be judged by your deeds. If you were a good person, you'd get rewarded. You get certain amount of cool points. If you did horrible things to people, you would have some of those cool points taken away. And basically, Allah has the scales on the type of person that you were. So Allah shows mercy when there's ignorance. Like, for example, Adam actually had a conversation with Allah stating that, hey, did you create me knowing that I was going to eat of the fruit? And Allah said, yes, I knew that you were going to eat of the fruit. And Adam says, well, if you knew that I was going to do that and you created me the way that I was, wouldn't you show mercy and forgiveness? And Allah says, absolutely. You were created that way. So I kind of use that when I'm talking to people that are like bigots and homophobes that talk bad against homosexuality and like transgenderism and things like that. I state that if my religion does say that homosexuality or sodomy is a sin, I don't know why it's a sin, but if that's the way that you were born and that's the way that you were created, it doesn't matter because Allah will show mercy. So I believe that you may have had, I'm not sure where you got your information from, but Islam is known for a religion of peace. Once you really dive in and get to know it, now you watch Fox News and you see planes running in the towers, you get a whole different outlook on it, which is what I had at one point in time. But I deployed to Afghanistan in the military and met the people over there and saw how peaceful they were and remained an atheist for a number of years until 3 months ago. And I took my Shahada and have seen how much more peaceful Islam is than something as in Christianity.
Jenny, if I could.
Hold on. Let me, I just wanted to. Where was I going? Shit. I'm trying to catch all these fucking trolls now that I have. Khalil, did you bring him or was that Jimmy? No, I'm kidding. Sure, it was Jimmy.
I hope I didn't. I'm sorry if I did.
Well, some of them are talking about the Quran, but not in a good way.
Oh,
So I'm just getting rid of all of them. Anyway, go ahead. I forgot what the hell I was going to say now.
So Jenny, if you don't mind, I would ask a clarifying question of Khalil on that. That isn't it true that what you just expressed is more universal than you just expressed it, and all judgment is based on a graduating scale of the knowledge of the person?
Yes, it's all about your intentions. So if you don't know any better and you haven't, so there's something in the Quran that you might hear from a lot of people called a kafir. A kafir is a true unbeliever. By true unbeliever, oh my gosh, look at old Tom Hanks out here. So within the Quran, What was I even talking about? One of the trolls got me off.
Graduating judgment
Graduating judgment.
based on person's knowledge versus.
Oh, yeah. So it's all about intention. So if you, the kafir. So the kafir is the true unbeliever. So a kafir is someone who has been given the word, understands the word completely, knows that God exists, knows that Allah exists, and still rejects Allah even during end times. And I think there is even a period of time after death that you still have to change your mind. If not, you stay behind, and as Richard would argue, you sit here and hang out and wait for Pharaoh to show up 40 days later. Well, within Islam, we don't really exactly say wait for Pharaoh to show up. We just believe that the true kafirs are the ones that they're the ones that will fuel the fire. Their bones will fuel the fire in the hereafter. I only can say I couldn't even say who is a kafir. I couldn't say you are a kafir because I don't know your intentions. I don't know if you accept that Allah exists and still deny him and said, nope, I'll spit in Allah's face and laugh my way to hell. Like, I don't know people's true intentions. So I couldn't ever say that you're going to hell.
So a true unbeliever is a catheter because they're so painful to remove?
A catheter? No. It's catheter, Kafer.
Yeah.
Another question. Okay, first, and I'll preface this one as well. I recognize that Islam is just like Christianity in the sense that there are many, many sects within the global description or title of the religion. Some are more wacky than others and more intense, but nonetheless, they exist. The two dominant that we hear about here, of course, is Sunni and
Shia.
Shia, yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems a lot of what is talked about or exercised and demonstrated, not as a demonstration, but just through how things work out and behaviors we observe in a society, that there appears to be a whole lot of mortal, I'll use that word, interpretation or misinterpretation or further delineation, definition of the laws of Islam to seek out a particular goal of the individuals making those definitions. Okay. That this sect or that sect, and I'm not saying Sunni and Shia specifically, but I know that there's lots of other sects than just those guys. That some are violent and some are peaceful and some are completely whack and some are very sensible and some are very educated and some are very scientific, and it's whatever they are. It seems that all we see here, and I know much of it's probably because of the media, is the violence, is the negativity, is the danger to people like gay people getting thrown off buildings, and just the fact that you're not Islam, you're an infidel and deserve death. That art is not allowed, that pets are not allowed, that all these different rules that seem insane to the Western world. Are these really part of Islam, or are these part of the human interpretation of the so-called leaders?
So, well, here's the thing. I don't really think it's coming from the leaders. I think these are smaller sects that are taking hadith and sunnah in Quran and actually, taking it and interpreting it in a way that they want to, because I can guarantee you right now, if you picked up the Quran and you read it, you won't find a single place in the Quran to where it says go out and kill the infidels just because they don't believe in what we believe. The only time, and I can guarantee this, you will not find in the Quran somewhere where there is fighting or war, where the Muslims are fighting, and they are not being attacked by somebody else. They're defending themselves. It specifically states, I think, in Surah 5, that if what happens is people like to go pick the middle verse out and says, kill the infidels. The verse before that states, if they are oppressing you and trying to kill you, you kill the infidels. But if in the sentence after that states, but if they put their swords down, you put yours down and treat them like brothers. That's what you'll find in the Quran.
Is Jenny, you satisfied? Is it my turn?
Sure, as far as I'm concerned.
All right. Cleo, be honest with me. Is this statement intellectually dishonest on my part? Your statement there, I'm sure, is 100% accurate. And if I ask a Christian the same question from a Christian context, they'll give me essentially the same answer. And they'll also say that you have it backwards, and you will say that they have it backwards. So I look at that and I think, well, I don't really know. I'm not going to put in the effort to figure out which of you is telling the truth here. And since you both do the same answer, to me, that says that maybe you're both wrong.
Well, sure, yeah.
Let's
go with that, and let's go to both holy books, and let's find where God supposedly, and Richard's going to disagree with this and say it's going to mean something else, but in the Christian interpretation, the way that they see their Bible is that God commanded the Israelites to go and kill the Amalekites, the Midianites, the Jebusites. They are sacrificing their babies to Moloch, so go there and kill every man, woman, every breastfeeding child. Those words are right there, word for word, in the KJV Bible. You will not find anything close to that in the Quran. And I challenge you to look it up and find it, and even find something that you could interpret as kill babies.
Sure. Okay. So if I don't want to do that because that's a big book, that that stays at my end.
No, you can
be straight. I mean, it's okay to say that. I do rocks. I don't do theology. So
yeah. I get it. No, you could Google it. You could type in where in the Quran does it say to kill babies, and you'll probably get a whole bunch of Christian websites that pop up, or a whole bunch of atheist websites that pop up that say, oh well, it says this. Well, if you go to that surah and that ayah, which means chapter and verse, you won't find it. I challenge anybody to do it. Which that's a big problem that I had. I was just an atheist 3 months ago, thinking the same thing before in 2010, before I went to Afghanistan and met these people and learned about the true culture. I thought the same thing, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to find it in here because I'm getting shot at by these Muslims. So obviously, somewhere in their holy book, it's got to tell them to go, kill people. Well, it doesn't. I can't find it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what, if anything, does the Quran actually say about gays?
I don't think it says anything specifically about gays. It specifically talks about sodomy and how sodomy is sinful, which sodomy is the penetration, anal penetration. And that goes for anybody, even husband and wife. So it's not discriminatory against a certain gender or preference or anything like that. Anybody that uses that acts upon using anal penetration is sinful, and that's just the commandments of Allah.
Does sodomy include mouth?
No, and that's actually a big debated topic, because if you do look up the Western interpretation or Western definition of sodomy, it's a lot more than just anal penetration. But no, in the original Arabic, it only means anal penetration. So,
I'm sorry. Continue.
No, go ahead.
I've asked Christian promoters this as well. Show me in the Quran where it speaks on any level about transgender.
Speaks on any level about transgender? I don't think it does.
No, I don't think it does either. And if that's true, why can any religion, if it isn't addressed in their holy books and their doctrine,
how can any religion then condemn it on religious purpose or religious basis and describe it as sinful when it's not even discussed or aware? There's no awareness.
I absolutely agree with you. I don't. My belief in Islam doesn't tell me I need to condemn really anybody for anything. We all have free will. We have the free will to choose what we want to do. And if it doesn't talk about transgenderism, then it doesn't talk about transgenderism. Actually, I think it does mention in the original Arabic language, Allah is genderless. So Allah is referred to as he in the English interpretation, but he in Arabic, this is Richard, one of those things that's hard to go from Arabic to English. He actually could just mean a plurality of people. It could
more
mean
like they actually,
or exactly. So
right. It's non-gender, it's non-number specific.
Exactly.
In the Arabic culture,
you're muted. You're muted.
Who, me?
So why are people so worried about saying they and them then?
Their own personal prejudice.
Exactly. Thank you. That's all I had to say.
Jenny, have you? So I'm assuming when you bring this up to Christians, they bring up the God made them male and female argument.
Yeah, they lump it together and say, well, it's no different than homosexuality, so therefore,
that is really not addressing gender there. And it's too vague anyway because there are more chromosomal combinations than. It's extremely general. It's not to be taken as a medical lesson.
There are 13 permutations.
Well, you don't need to make that conversation with me, of course. But yeah.
Okay. The other question is, let me reform this. I kind of lost a bit of it.
Did you say there was 13, Jenny?
13 permutations.
Is that accurate?
Yeah.
I'm gonna quote that later if you'll tell me that's accurate.
I believe that to be accurate. It came from a person who I have a great deal of respect for.
Okay.
Scientifically. Oh shit!
I had never heard a specific number on it, but that sounds in the right ballpark.
Well, that's just some basic mathematics. You take two letters and add the possibility of a third and a fourth.
Yeah.
And you rearrange them in various ways, and you can count out how many are possible and have been seen or described in medical literature. And,
yeah, well, that would be the difference between how many are theoretically possible and how many have actually been documented over the years.
Exactly.
I'm on a website here that says you can have 5 sex chromosomes as well. So your number may be.
Oh.
Yeah, I've always heard 5 different. So you have
like the XY thing. You can have up to 4 X's and 1 Y, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All those are sex chromosomes.
5
spaces or whatever.
Spaces in there, yeah.
Well,
as we learn more, we begin to realize that it's not just the XY that is doing anything, but it's all the proteins and timing that those two gross genes dictate in the person, the developing person.
See, and this wouldn't be a
holy
development than just the simple XY.
This wouldn't be a problem for my worldview because I hold to what's called Adamic exceptionalism, which means that I believe that before the special creation of Adam and Eve, Adam out of clay, that there were still human beings that lived on this planet of some sort, whether they were Neanderthals, whether they were whatever they were, that ended up after the special creation of Adam. They started mixing their genes together and having children. And then everybody became part of the Adamic line, but it doesn't mean that there's only male and female. That's what God specially created, was a male and a female. But who's to say there wasn't those other 5 chromosome or those 13 possible other chromosomal groups that existed at the time? I don't know.
I haven't actually heard anybody speak to that before, but that actually makes more sense for the story of Genesis. Because it does talk about after they were thrown out of the garden that there were already cities existing outside.
That was
Um,
you helped me clue into what I wanted to ask before.
I posted it in the private chat, Richard. Well, I got that link. Sorry.
If you look at other cultures, the American Native culture, the East Indian culture, and others through time and place, we see that there's a knowledge and acceptance and a special status that is bestowed upon people who through description are probably or most likely transgender. Is there such a thing in Islam or the Arabic culture?
Not that I'm aware of. No, I don't see anything stating like there's going to be something transgender in the future. Which, I mean, for us, basically, Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the last prophet. So basically, everybody after that are just normal human beings doing their thing until end times.
like to comment on the word clay and or dust, whichever one you read, from the forming of Adam.
Yeah, in the Bible, I think it was dust. In the Quran, it means formed from clay.
Yeah, that word clay or dust right there actually means pulverized material from a source.
Something already existing.
I thought it gave perfect,
extant material pulverized.
I thought it gave perfect explanation of why Dwayne Johnson is known as The Rock. So
Oh, that's good.
Well, pulverized from a source then could actually mean that was already taken from a living being and basically
got
a
it.
clone.
Well, and improved upon clone by necessity.
Oh yeah, Richard, you believe in like the Adam and Eve like second iteration, right?
No,
Is
I
that
believe
someone
the
else?
fossil record is telling us the truth. That there were several proto-human. I'll just say it that way.
Oh, that's okay.
Several, and we are the greatest of them, and that we were an improvement on them, a purposeful, intelligent improvement on those things. Only problem was, even though that batch was born all males and all the males were wiped out, one by freak of stupidity of mom managed to survive.
So while we have a pause, because I've been trying to break in for like 15 minutes, but you guys were having a good conversation. I didn't want to interrupt.
What's up, B?
I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. You guys can stay in the background and talk, as long as you fucking want. I'm done. Got to work early in the morning. Everybody in the chat, thank you for coming. Theo and Ox, thanks for trying to help me get all that cleared up. I really appreciate you.
if I brought him over. I don't.
No,
think
it was
did.
Jimmy. It was Jimmy. And I had Ox go report him. So
Yeah, I don't think it
We'll
had
take care.
anything to do with you.
no, it happened as soon as it was like within 2 minutes after I blocked him.
and either
So.
way, it was fun.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't care. Gave me something to do while I was eating my dinner.
Oh,
Anyways,
Thanks for letting me on your show, B.
thank you all for in the chat. Thank you everybody for coming on. I love you guys, and it's always a good conversation, even when you're harassing the drunks. Everybody, take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and have some peace in your life.